I don't care what they do, but this is the ultimate way to make yourself a lol cow. And she started bringing up like people like Coremaster and fans. And she said that she suggested that I should do something about it. And I just like, what do you want me to do? And she threatened me. She said, if you don't do something about this, I will. And I was like, whoa. And I go, Blair, what are you gonna do? And she sharply replied, I'm going to kick Dr. Zhivago out of my server.
I do want to talk about the new June the King video, though. That's my real main other story that we're going to cover today. Are you guys familiar with Illuminaughtii? We've watched Illuminaughtii. Actually, we haven't watched any Illuminaughtii. I went on a long tangent the other night, not knowing this video was coming out, where I kind of explained the early lore to Illuminaughtii. Illuminaughtii was one of the people who were called out in the Plagiarism video by H. Bomber Guy. So he was a notable critic. And also there was the Legal Eagle controversy and a ton of other shit that was going on. So Blair is a former person from the Tommy C tribe who orbited Tommy C's commentary live streams. She used to be a random story time YouTuber who talked about how she took a dump so big she had to fist get out of the toilet, so her I guess date didn't know that she clogged it. That was a video that she posted. I think didn't she strike somebody for re-uploading it or something? It was like dude, she made a video, not a video, she appeared in like a thing doing a read to like Own Tipster back in the day during that time frame, after she became an unsuccessful drama YouTuber and ran on the Tommy C Get to the News Network show, and that really didn't pan out for her. She ended up doing Reddit. She was one of the Reddit YouTubers like MK, Crucify, Q-Star, a couple of those other people, Slazo. A lot of people don't really remember the Reddit people because their channels didn't really survive, because YouTube had like fucked the algorithm on Reddit channels eventually because they didn't want that content to just be, just thrust out into the fucking open space or whatever. I think the smartest one was the guy r/, because when you typed r/, like a little symbol, it would it would say RSLASH. So by naming his channel that, he boosted himself in the algorithm and made his channel blow up. And in return, Illuminaughtii, and again, this is just my testimony because there's no, I think, evidence of this that exists publicly, but she had told us, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that she thought that r/ had swatted her. So I was very surprised to find out when they worked together later on in her time. But Blair was like not very talented. She was lucky though. She was a YouTuber who was able to transition from Reddit and still have some form of relevance later in a completely different genre. Now, the way she did that was actually very simple.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick DeOrio. Mr.
She paid a lot of fucking money. That's how she did it.
Did you see the short circuit where Linus got a pinball machine?
I did. He got Dungeons and Dragons. It's very cool. The way that she did that, the way that she was able to do this mythical transition content when so many others had failed, is she threw a bunch of money at the screen. Blair was... she outsourced her script writing, she outsourced her research, she outsourced her editing, she outsourced her metadata like thumbnails. Everything that was happening in the videos was done by a team of people, and Blair was a voice actress on her own channel. That's why she was never talented. She was never good at any of this shit. What she did was make a bunch of money making Reddit videos and then pay a shitload of people to keep the channel floating up until the day that she ended up blaxing a little bit, getting a bit too involved herself, and blowing up her entire fucking career. So there's a lot of parallels here. A lot of people grew on Reddit doing this Reddit content who didn't really have the drive to be known as a Reddit YouTuber, but they did it because it was a quick way to make some money and grow on YouTube. And they thought once they hit 100,000 subs, 200,000 subs, 300,000 subs, 500,000 subs, they'd be like a celebrity, because there's other big YouTubers who are like celebrities who a lot of people like, and they want to see all the cool stuff that's going on in their lives. And then they never actually created an audience of their own. It was always just the people who were looking up Reddit videos would click on whichever voice sounded the nicest. So all those people had to like come to grips with the fact that they might have been successful. They might have a play button, but nobody knows who the fuck they are. And Blair didn't want that. She got involved and blew her channel up. So that's I guess the backstory here. Now, I 3 months ago, people were still doing updates on her that she had flatlined down to just 21 patrons. I checked this myself. She's now down to 15, losing another 2 this month, making anywhere between $12 and $142 at a maximum per month. She's done. Apparently, people have heard her on the radio. Supposedly, now she might be a DJ. That's fucking crazy. But I'm pretty interested because I've never really sat down on the channel and interacted with Illuminati hate before. And it was something that I was waiting for because I absolutely can't stand her.
Dissonance. It is this word that encapsulates...
Nick, did you pre-watch? I swear I heard your voice in this video. It's possible that I'm in it. The thing is, I didn't cover Illuminati because, like, there was other shit going on. I don't know how active I was at the time. I think I was preoccupied with, like, something else. But I had been waiting for Illuminati to fail for years. I absolutely fucking hated her. It was one of those where it's like, yeah, she's doing well right now, but karma gets everybody. And people think that, oh, if you wait for karma, that's really sad because you're going to wait for something that's never going to happen. And on YouTube, it just always seems to, like, happen, you know? So I was really happy to see her crash and burn because it's one of those people, like, for years I was waiting for it to happen.
It's not just how everything went wrong, but also...
I'm not in this video through cameo form. I'm not like a collaborator or whatever, but it's possible that I got like clipped audio wise of talking about it on stream or something.
Blair, or the channel Illuminati, was doomed from the start. Her channel is one part efficient businesswoman and one part unstable, vengeful manipulator.
Now there's one person I'm excited to go see at VidCon. I want to see June the King, boys. June the King!
This mixture of image was so conflicted, a single tweet was all that was needed to spark a rapid chain
Dude, going after Legal Eagle is fucking crazy.
Events that revealed the secret long history of a channel that was believed to have no significant personality. Interest then shifted in covering her extensive list
Didn't
of
she want to sue you? She wanted to sue everybody. Eventually, I assumed she'd run out of money.
Illuminati.
Illuminati situation.
The accumulated viewership of such was so substantial that it surpassed her once phenomenally successful channel that once aimed at exposing seeding companies and individuals. She responded.
Yeah, that's what she kind of did. Anti-MLMs, videos on like companies that and like scams and stuff like that. I think one of her big ones was like exposing Autism Speaks. Like very easy, hire somebody to write it type video.
Lawsuit, and her viewership responded with not existing. Since then, there have been
and June the King, by the way, is the one who made this. I didn't shout out June already. I probably should have done that sooner. June the King, YouTube channel. I don't know why I'm not subscribed on this channel, but he makes a lot of really great videos. 390K is extremely low in comparison to how relevant he actually is. Some of these documentaries are well over 1 million views, right? Don't make me look wrong. Yeah, there we go. Yes, dude, there we go. June the fucking King, dude. June the King makes great stuff.
Blair, the people exposing her, and her lawsuit. With these coming to a conclusion, this video will attempt to showcase the full downfall of Illuminati.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick DeOrio.
This is a lot more
Mr.
high budget
Oreo.
than I remember. He's using a lot more effects. It looks like they're not all templates either.
First, I partnered with my hair.
Also, he kind of looks like, and no offense, he kind of looks like Giga Chad Froggy Fresh. Does anybody else see that? He's got like the Giga Chad Froggy Fresh like aesthetic.
Heritage and took one of their DNA kits. I'm actually more French than German. Would you look at that? This is essentially the kit I got.
Alright, we're moving through it. We're not doing ancestry results. We're not going to find out who could say the words.
Within the burgeoning creator space, there are channels that grow rapidly after posting a few videos. These tend to fill underserved niches or create superior content within their genres. Illuminati was not one of these channels.
Thank
it is
you.
not entirely...
Dude, whose video was it that we watched the other day? Not the other day. There was a YouTuber who had made like 50 Illuminati videos who made a really shit Ethan Klein video and then deleted it. He's like lost to time in my mind. But he posted a video. He's like, Illuminati was once known as one of the most respected content creators on YouTube. And I basically spit my drink out of my mouth. It was like one of the... Jimmy Robbins. Jimmy Robbins' video on Illuminati was horrible. Just for that one sentence, I won't respect anything else he said.
Clear what Blair, the creator and host of the channel, did prior to 2019. As her footprint was so insignificant, the earliest way back machine capture of her channel dates back to the start of...
Yeah, I probably have a much more
Mr.
lucid
Oreo.
memory of who she was back then. Because, like, that was when I was coming up.
2019. However, her channel was established May 9th.
Oh, another thing. Who here knows internet blood sports type people? Remember Tonka? Okay, so after Tonka didn't fight Andy Worski, she became a Kumite mod. She would be like one of the fucking people modded in the sub in the thing or whatever, watching people stream to like fucking like 30 people. That was her. She would just sit in the, she'd be like 140,000 sub or like a 300,000 or like a 400,000 sub YouTuber just sitting in the Kumite chat talking to Vamp. And there is an allegation or whatever that she like sent ass pics to Akujin, the hate crime engine or something, whatever the fuck you went by.
2013. And there is evidence that she posted between that time. Like this 2017.
Yo, wait. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. I thought it was the Ricochet vlog, but real talk.
Collaboration video. That while it is only a collaboration through the creation of videos made on a similar topic, it does show a few seconds of Blair and links to her channel.
Dude, the craziest lore drop about Blair is when we found out that she was a stripper too. That was another one.
The same channel she still uses. This also reveals she made a genre of video known as storytime videos. This means she not only deleted her side of this collaboration, but also all of her videos prior to 2008.
I'm pretty sure that was the case. I'd have to go back and I don't know where I would even find that at this point.
Yet, a few have been archived through other means. The reason these have been removed becomes apparent upon examination.
Bro, say allegedly right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I defame her by saying I think she was a stripper?
Girls don't talk about their shit.
Dude, oh no. Wait, yes! The poo video! This is the poo video! Yes!
Removed becomes apparent upon examination.
Girls don't talk about their shit, their poops, right? Well, I'm gonna talk about my poops because
when I said she was untalented, this is what I meant. This is what she was doing before, like literally it fell into her lap, bro. Her career fell into her lap.
This is a story about poop.
Larger chunk.
Dude, guys, what? Can somebody give me a nice description about what happened with the Ethan Klein drama?
Talk about my poops because this is a story about poop.
Larger chunk.
There we go, finally. Thank you, Blair.
Of this video cannot be shown uninterrupted as Blair has copyright struck channels posting it
Yup, yes she did.
in the past, and it remains in the YouTube Content ID system. The crux is, while on a date, she clogged her toilet.
It was huge. I'm looking
Some would say that it was massive. I'm not playing it.
at
And you know what else is massive?
it, and I don't even see the hole for the toilet.
Blair's storytime videos are videos where the creator tells of wild happenings in her private life are dated at least back to 2015.
We decided to go out for a movie date, and the movie we're gonna see is that new James Bond movie, Spectre, that's out.
Spectre in the United States premiered November 2015. It was around this time that Sarah J. Warren also premiered.
Oh no, bro. Sarah J. Warren, get it? Do you get it? Sarah J. Warren? Do you guys get it? Get it? You know, she would go on to make a podcast with Lance from the Surfs, and that with her previous alter ego being Sarah J. Warren. Like that.
Sarah J. Warren is unapologetically feminist, and if they don't like it, then I would love to drink their...
She snaked Tommy so fucking hard. So her moderators came into Tommy's Discord server, or I guess they were in Tommy's Discord server, and they reached out to Blair, and they didn't like what they saw. So basically, Blair went to Tommy and said, hey, my mods think that you're running your server badly, so you've got to fix that. And Tommy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Look, I get you just hit 100,000 subs, but you're not going to come tell me how to moderate my community. So then when Tommy went to sleep that night, she logged into the Get to the Point channel and deleted every video that she contributed to except for just the one that you're seeing right here. And Tommy didn't even get to keep any of them. It was a news show, sure, but it was also a parody news show. And there were multiple collaborators. Like, there were like 5 people working on this channel, and she didn't give a shit. She deleted it. There's no archives of that content. She just destroyed other people's hard work, even if it wasn't like the most successful channel ever. And she waited till Tommy fell asleep to do it, which was crazy. Like, what a cowardly bitch.
overprivileged male tears, okay?
Sarah J. Warren was created to star in Tommy C's satirical news show Get to the Point. Tommy played the role of a sexist alcoholic that was kicked out of mainstream media. Blair's character, or what
he played the role, dude.
she portrayed, was
I'm kidding. I love Tommy.
clear even just through the name.
She was sort of the modern woman, annoying SJW. And her name was Sarah J. Warren. S.J.
Sarah J. She came up with that
To
herself.
be clear, I would have made that joke any other day. Just to be clear, not specifically this week. I would have made that joke any day.
Despite the effort and collaboration of other creatives, Tommy states the project was a failure.
Someone pinged you in the server with the stripper post? Oh. Well, I'll just tell you if I've seen it before. I don't know if I can show what I can show. I mean, I definitely can. I don't remember it was ever, like, explicit. It was like a post from, like, a stripper website, wasn't it? I got added in everything. Is it stream topic requests? Yeah, archive.org, Illuminati stripper. Here, what is this? Dude, they're on, like, stripper.io. What is this, bro? Stripperweb.com. I worked on and off for this club for 3 years. I was first hired in September 2010. I had good days and bad days with the club, but I've overall been happy working here. Getting hired is probably the hardest part, but once you're in the door, you're pretty much good to go. There's no schedule at all. The whole club is pretty high tech compared to the other clubs in the Valley. You clock in, they want you to work 5 hours, then leave. So if you clock in at 4:17, you can leave at 9:17. Super chill. They give you an electronic data key that you use to clock in. So this is like a review of a stripper look. Actually, I've never seen this before. I had seen like a picture or whatever on like a website profile pic thing. Yeah, there's a stripper database, I guess.
As such, none of Blair's works gained purchase, until she began producing a simple yet lucrative
You see, her name is SJW. You get it? Iconic. The iconic name, SJW. I wonder.
style video late 2018.
Was that on purpose?
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's Blair, or the Illuminati, and I'm so glad to have you guys here today with me on another wild ride through the
I don't know why. Someone wrote the stripper database has been hacked or whatever, and I was thinking like someone has fallen into the water in Legoland or something. The stripper database has been hacked.
/anti-MLM subreddit. I think I can kind of sort of tell this is a favorite amongst our fans here on the channel.
These videos are Blair reading what are presumably the top posts of the subreddit that is the subject of the video. Being that Reddit has a function where one can easily sort by the top, hence most popular post, all she had to do was read through these and add some commentary.
And this was a huge money-making genre. People bought houses, they bought fucking Lambos, they made a lot of fucking money on Reddit. I mean, this was so common a couple of years ago, people just kind of assumed when I talked about it, but nowadays, if you really weren't here in this time frame, I think like the 2020 era, or whatever, you might not realize how much money really was to be made by reading other people's work on Reddit.
She often interspliced some stock footage and evolved the videos to include her avatar that's...
And there was a lot of debate as to whether it was fair use to just reread posts, because obviously it's probably not if you're just rereading an article verbatim. And then like that led into conversations about Bo Black's Twitter verses, whether what he was doing was above board as well. It was a whole thing.
Construct different poses depending on what is being said. This is a style found in many communities across YouTube. Being that the head of her avatar is the Eye of Providence that is tied to many things such as secret societies, it is a nod to
Isn't Providence in Boston? Isn't that like in Massachusetts or something?
her channel name Illuminaughtii, that differs in spelling to the group by the word naughty as to be disobedient, and has an additional I on both the start and...
It might also reference like, oh my god, wait. Do you think that... I never thought about it like that. Do you guys know what I'm thinking? Do you think it was her stripper name? It was her... Yeah! I think it was her stripper name. Oh my god! I didn't even fucking consider that, dude! Holy shit, that'd be funny.
the end of the name. This avatar...
Next on stage, give it up for Illuminaughtii.
turned out to be quite...
Oh no, bro. I didn't even think of that.
convenient as she more and more began to shift focus to the r/anti-MLM subreddit. MLM, or multi-level marketing, is often referred to as a pyramid scheme, and where one recruits unwitting subjects to sell often overpriced and difficult to sell products. The pyramid shape comes into play as a share of the revenue goes to the recruiter, which is a point of the scheme, as recruiters of recruiters receive cuts from all below them, and to win is to sit on the top layers.
Oh my god, dude. That's... Yo, because it's... Oh shit, wait. Yeah, she was kind of at the top of... I don't know. are you making the judgment that the channel that she built kind of turned into this?
Pyramid. Blair had been covering this subreddit so much that it had its own separate category on her YouTube homepage. Being that those who join MLMs are often desperate, ignorant, or foolish, their tactics mimic these traits. So the focus of Blair's
You
video...
ever watch the video where they're like, no, it's not a fucking pyramid scheme. Like, dude, hold on, I'll draw it out for you, And he starts drawing out like, well, here, you help this guy, that guy helps this guy, that guy helps this guy. And they're like, dude, you drew a fucking triangle. It's a fucking pyramid scheme. I don't remember what that was, but that made me die.
Those were more so on the absurdity of tactics used to sell products. This was her path to success.
I also want to give like a quick little shout out to like...
Is it The Office? That's it. I just quoted The Office. Holy shit, dude. I'm old.
The 150 people who have all followed me within like the past week. I don't know what is happening there.
Blair's success, above all else, is attributed to a rapid rate of uploads. In March, her channel had jumped to 96,000 subscribers. Here, she would upload 2 videos daily.
And the funny thing is, we were happy for her. I have no idea why she went fucking ballistic. Blair might be the first YouTube friend to backstab the fuck out of us. Like, it was more of a, no! Jesus!
Largely consisting of subreddit coverage. In this screenshot, she abandoned the larger focus on MLMs to shift to popular Reddit themes. However, this screenshot in May shows that her MLM coverage was once again gaining prominence on her channel. And by
almost died of fall damage again. I gotta stop jumping, yeah.
August 2019, as per the bottom of this,
she had no way to... But dude, Blair was like the first time I ever saw somebody that I thought was like somewhat normal just explode and just go completely psychotic. And like, this would happen over and over and over and over. Until we got to the point, basically, where I just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna just do a solo thing and build up my channel and kind of, you know, do whatever. I'm doing me. Because, like, honestly, the issue with YouTubers is they're all mentally unstable. I don't want to be around them anymore. The Mudahar one was the last one. That was the last straw for me. Because I had always thought, right, if I surround myself with people who are of similar mind and they all just want to, you know, and of similar mind, I don't mean like drama. I mean people who are out here trying to make fucking money, trying to make decent content. You know, people who have something to lose. I don't want to hang around people who literally don't do anything all day and sit here for 24 hours a day and get mad at fucking Twitter. Like people who have something to lose. I assumed like, okay, I wouldn't have any more bad interactions online. And then Mudahar happened and that like completely sent me into like a schizo mode spiral. I'm like, literally anybody, every single person can just go crazy one day. If they just touch the Sonichu medallion, it doesn't matter how much they have to lose. It doesn't matter how established they are or what content they've made in the past or whatever. Just somebody can have like mad YouTuber disease and go fucking nuts on you. So yeah, fuck that. Fuck collaboration, dude. Holy shit.
Archive page, she had made 36 videos on MLMs and made a video dissecting what an MLM is, the trailer for her channel. But she was not the only one growing.
Ricada Law. I mean, Ricada Law always hung around in the edgier spaces on YouTube. And a lot of, like, I gotta be honest, there's a lot of drug use over there, too. Now, I didn't know that he would have coke bullets in his fucking couch. I didn't know that he, like, is he gonna do jail time? Is that what's happening for Nick Ricada? That was crazy, too. I mean, I knew he was kind of odd, I guess.
From covering Reddit. There was the Click, One Topic, and r/. While many channels exist in this
no,
Thank you, Grizzly.
Why would so many people be Googling that?
I'm off to see Grandpa Grizzly maybe for the last time.
Aww.
If you're finished by the time I return, have a good trip. Kiss Bobby for us.
Oh, God. Well, I'm so sorry for the situation that you're in, and I hope you have a good night.
Genre, these 3 are unique to Blair's story in that some would become...
Where is John Scream? Oh, John Scream was fantastic, dude. That guy was legitimately... Do you remember his thing? It was like he did a candlelight vigil for Leafy or something after the Content Cop.
Friends, but eventually would all take on an adversarial role. r/, as many Reddit channels did in 2019, grew tremendously. Yet few as fast. Though he had only started uploading in January of 2019, by February he was getting over 30 million views a month. This aroused suspicion. Blair during this time took it upon herself to point out the suspicious growth. Without much more to go on than this almost unheard of growth, the drama died down. But what remained was the start of a history. One of hypocrisy, manipulation, and revenge.
Yeah, it's like one of those where this is a total crapshoot. This could have never come back to bite her. And that probably would have been like a reason, not like reasonable, right? But like that's like a possible outcome that very much could have happened. And then simultaneously, it just went down, like it went down in like the craziest way possible. And all of it got like ripped back up again. It was weird. It was like the first time I was ever like really early to a drama.
And her responses would repeat on wholly different people. This begins with Azathan's video.
I feel that
Azathan. Oh my god, that's a name I haven't heard of in years.
I must state up front that for the last 2.5 years, I was involved in a romantic relationship with the YouTuber known as iilluminaughtii.
Oh no, bro. Holy shit, dude, she's gonna get cucked.
This relationship ended recently.
Azathan released this video on April 19th, 2008.
Hey guys, I gotta let you know. I know I'm not a big YouTuber or anything, but I had to break up with my YouTuber girlfriend, so I'm gonna start making Reddit videos. Whoa, Drama Mondays.
In where he admits to secretly recording a phone call with Blair. It was not illegal, as Colorado, in terms of calls, is a one-party consent state.
I have seen your fucking Twitter and the bullshit you've been spewing on there.
The harassment.
You fucking asshat.
The abuse.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a fucking breakup because your cash cow fucking left you. Like,
I don't remember this. Jesus. And for all we know, I don't remember this guy. She might even have a point. I have no idea. It's been years.
Fuck off.
Just can't go on anymore.
But this is how Blair thought of herself. Blair became who the fuck she is. The minute she hit 100K, she went, like, literally went crazy. I think that's part of the reason why Tommy kept saying that about Bo Blacks. Because the minute she hit 100K, she was like, nuts.
Azathan fails to paint a clear picture of his conflict with Blair. He claims Blair is threatening legal action if he were to make a video on her. But this conflict...
Like, she wanted to be a fucking... Like, she wanted to be a celebrity. 100%. She wanted to be a household name, an iconic YouTuber. She wanted to do fucking meet and greets at VidCon, probably. That's what she wanted. That was her end game. That's the vibe I got off of her. 100%.
With the intent, the text message...
Like Anissa? Yeah, I mean, you'll see a lot of these, like, every YouTuber is, like, derivative of another YouTuber. We've kind of seen it all at this point. It's not like... I don't know. Maybe some stuff is fresh on my mind, but a lot of these guys kind of do the same thing.
...is expressing.
If it's not Illuminati, it's like some other person who had the same fucking character arc at this point.
Legal action, were I to make a video about her activities in any way. And you can see that despite violating no laws, making no threats to...
And yeah, another thing that Illuminati did like a million times was threaten legal, threaten legal, threaten legal, threaten legal.
Dox her.
Obviously, she had legal stuff happen.
Making no claims of any illegal activity whatsoever, she was already willing to threaten prosecution.
Azathan has claimed to share the audio of the call anonymously. Why this matters is because, apparent by a second video Azathan released, the full call contained private information. The release of the entire call could be why Blair claims Azathan was threatening to dox her. Back to the first video, it turns out that Blair was in contact with someone threatening to dox Azathan.
Dude, it's like, oh shit, alright, we gotta give a point to Blair there, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, shit. How do you dox your former partner? Hey, this is where I was!
Discord user known as...
Or was it an E-relationship? I actually have to ask that question because it's early.
Cracker Snatcher, who had made...
Of course it was. Of course it was. Of course this guy's name is Cracker Snatcher, dude. Crazy. Why wouldn't that be his name?
Threats of violence against me, as well as attempting to locate and disseminate my location and name. I was saddened to be informed by my friends that...
Dude, I can't believe that Cracker Snatcher was not above board. I expected more from Cracker Snatcher.
She had joined a Warcraft 3 Discord server solely for the purpose of providing and exchanging personal information with this extremely dangerous and unstable individual.
This claim, at least by the evidence shown on screen, is not entirely substantiated, with the conversation being about boys being gay and rejecting...
About what? They want boys to be gay. They want girls to reject men. They send men to war. Wait, they send men to war, to prison. They want you to party all day and do drugs so your families die. Just because you can be gay does not mean you... Oh my god, dude. What the fuck?
Men and going to war or prison and dying and doing drugs and truth-seeking and, of course...
Dude, this is why I love this shit, because there are so many people who think Illuminati's life began when she tweeted at Legal Eagle, and this is all the shit that I live for, bro.
Saving the world.
Dude, guys, it's Pride Month. We can be gay, Mark.
Blair's side, it is only clear she wanted to speak to this individual, but the contents of the private conversation are not shown, and thus there is no proof, besides anecdotal, that she was
The Minecraft bee is trans, Mark.
attempting to deliver Azathan's docs. While their conflict did not lead to much due to the lack of strong evidence or the general disinterest towards Azathan's video, there are claims that made over time would ring more and more true.
An early friendship with Fresh helped mold her content, but also led her to believe that anyone else utilizing that general framework was a copycat. I listened to endless rants about Misery Box, deservedly.
Bro, Misery Box was like the first time Blair... Actually, Blair brought me into a call. Keep in mind, this is like... Is it post-Slazo Nick DeOrio? So like 2019 Nick DeOrio? I'm pretty sure she brought me into a call, right? And asked me for help on one of these drama videos she was making. I consulted on one of her drama videos. I just don't remember which one it was. I'm almost... We're getting back really far. But I think I consulted on something that she'd done. And then also we filmed a video that's long lost to time where we were doing like a fan fiction. We were reading Keemstar fan fiction or something on video.
Bumfries and even Voicey here.
I think that might have been the first time I was ever a consultant in a YouTube drama.
Being nothing more than mediocre mimics of herself and Fresh. Which leads us to the original step she took.
Like I mean, it wasn't as cool as when I consulted for Dream.
Into the commentary community. Her call-out video against r/, claiming that he was using viewbots. What fueled this was her anger at being so quickly outpaced by another channel.
Blair later deleted her video on r/, but the jealousy of competing channels outperforming her or merely existing in proximity would remain. With a person so reputation-minded, one that believes reputation is molded with intent instead of forming passively, Blair knew she had weaknesses and quickly sought to remove them. Her history as Sarah J. Warren greatly conflicted with her new image of a compassionate, investigative creator who sought to expose the wrongdoings of companies.
Yeah, some of them were
Oh, it's Mr. C! It's the C-Man!
privated, as per Blair's request a couple months ago when she was going to sue Keemstar for saying she had an STD.
I forgot about that. Blair was going to sue Keemstar for saying that she had an STD. That's more information that makes the rest of her life look so much funnier now. That was another one, dude.
So I cooperated and I privated the videos, but before she left, she deleted the private videos too. So that, to clear up some of the confusion on...
Tommy explains how Blair still
and
had...
you know her, you understand her mentality was like, I'm fucking this big YouTuber now. You don't get to make money off of my name. That was what I assume was going through her head at the time. Was like, oh, I'm this fucking big YouTuber now. I don't fucking need you. You don't deserve me on your platform, so I'm going to take my content with me. Thank you very much, Tommy.
Access to his channel, and why now only short clips of her time as Sarah J. Warren exist online. This is explained through a dense story of Tommy and friends calling an employee of Blair's obese. Something he took...
Dude, the Ricochet lore is actually here, dude. The Ricochet lore.
Offense to, even though he partook in verbalizing similar comments towards others. This is the stated intent. One that...
Ricochet was in the Moonbase Discord server, okay? And I think he ran the Moonbase Discord server, which I frequented, Core frequented, if I've rated you into his streams, Blair frequented, Tommy would pop in, and then people like Tobes and Verse from Tommy C's show would pop into. And Ricochet had met me up in real life to bring me a sign for the background of my video on Andy Worski, like a Tonka Saw sign. And then I got invited to go to Vegas with Blair. So they invited me, this girl Failery, Ricochet, and Real Talk the Metaphor Messiah, who's done some of Tommy's music. And they all went to Vegas together. And of course I didn't go because I hardly knew these fucking people. I didn't really want to meet them. And they shot a vlog there. Ricochet, who got fucking rest in peace, not Ricochet. I don't know if you're alive. Actually, I don't care. Real Talk, who, by the way, rest in peace, rip, called Ricochet fat. And then Blair like blew up and hated everybody over this, despite the fact that she in the video was egging him on to keep doing it. And she was trying to grandstand about this fucking fat joke. Just like she's like in the video at being part of the fat joke.
Makes it appear that she disassociated through compassion and not to hide her history. And it worked for the time being.
No, she's not too big for her britches. She's fucking stupid. She's not cut out for this.
Blue Yeti Nick is a wild voice, dude. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, dude, that was back in when I was, that's back pre-puberty, when I was only 21.
That's something we can definitely say from knowing her behind the scenes.
Yeah, because she freaks out when she makes these videos.
Anything that takes any sort of like stress, any stress comes down on her, anything that takes brain cells is where she just fucking falls apart.
Blair,
dude, based,
in her efforts to remove her history, had only added more to it. While she had succeeded in wiping those old videos, these were replaced with Tommy's.
If you guys don't know, there was I don't even know if the playlist is still there after the fight with Tommy, but I used to put, there'd be a playlist with like 67 episodes because I was Tommy's co-host. There's a fuckload of old content out there that you can go watch.
She's testimony that they existed alongside her underhanded actions to remove them. What's more, she was now attempting to remove coverage of this.
Shit goes down, we know about it, we talk about it, and then all of a sudden, I get a strike this morning on a video that was entitled, "Strike This Bitch."
Blair.
I posted the fucking video. It's the poop one. I posted it. Right? So this is the thing I did. I'm remembering this right now. I went and I posted on my fucking YouTube channel. Actually, it's on this channel. It was my alt channel at the time. It was actually called Killstream Live - the Ralph Retort because I was making a joke that Ralph got banned from YouTube back then. So it was youtube.com/Killstream Live - the Ralph Retort. They used to be how to get here.
I recommend watching Nicholas
This is like
DeOrio's
vintage 2019. That was the reason this channel existed.
Blue Yeti Nick.
And it would go on to
He's in a
become my
better
main
place.
channel, basically. So at this point, I was fighting with Blair about the Ricochet thing because it was really fucking cringy what she was doing. So I uploaded her poop story that she tried to hide from YouTube, which isn't something that would inherently harm her. It was just kind of funny, right? She's this big Reddit YouTuber now, and I thought it'd be funny to repost the video where she was talking about fisting poop out of the toilet. So I posted the video on this channel as an archive.
Nicholas DeOrio.
And I titled it, "Strike This Bitch, I Dare You," or something like that. And she did. She struck it. So then I went back and I made like a second video that was fair use or whatever. And you know what she did when I posted it? She went and she found the person who drew the art that I altered in the thumbnail. And then she told that person to strike me. So then that person struck me. And then I think, well, I don't know if they actually did strike me or they were going to strike me. But then she went and she made a huge mistake. She bragged to Tipster. Yes, Tipster. She bragged to Tipster that she had convinced this person to strike this, even though she didn't give a fuck about the whole situation, and she just wanted the video taken down. She bragged about it to Tipster, who immediately dumped all her fucking DMs publicly. So I had evidence that she went and did that. So then I talked to the artist, who was cool, and they backed off, but like, what the fuck? Dude, she was really mad about this poop video. Long story short, it was a proxy war. Yeah, we had a proxy war over the poop video, I think.
Blair, as later revealed, had not hit this video with a copy.
And then previously she went on Tommy's stream and was reading Tipster's old blog when they were fighting. And so she's like, I'm your geeky Tipster or whatever. Reading from when Tipster was like 20 years old or whatever that he's writing on the internet.
Copyright strike. Rather,
Illuminaughtii made a 4-hour video on her. I'm sorry, iNabber made a 4-hour video on her. And I gotta be honest with you, it's probably terrible. I can go look and see, but I can't imagine it's good.
She informed an artist whose work was used to create the thumbnail for said video, and they struck it. This back and forth lasted for several months, yet coverage of her—
Wait, what was that? Oh, is that the messages? Yeah, thank you so much for letting me know about Hey, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that there's a hate channel that just used your fan art that you made for me in their thumbnail. I pulled it off Google Images. I don't know if you guys gave them permission to use that, but I just wanted to let you know so you can protect yourself. Like, oh yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why Blair really cared to help the artist.
Formed an artist whose work was used.
She took a screenshot and sent it to Tipster, yeah. She took this screenshot and sent it to someone to brag about standing on my fucking grave. And then fucking Tipster immediately sent it to me.
To create the thumbnail.
Concern trolling? No, she wanted them to strike the video. It was like, oh, you're a fan of my channel? You should really do something about this.
Here is some money to go towards the Hank Hill skin on Fortnite.
I got it, but thank
Love
you.
the work you do.
You reimbursed
Keep
me.
it up.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
For said video, and they struck it. This back and forth lasted for several months, yet coverage of her interactions seldom gained purchase, even as the fans' new claims largely went ignored.
So here's Aslan's tweet right here. When Illuminati told me that as a stripper, yes.
When Illuminati told me as a stripper she took clients into the... Okay, I don't know if this is accurate. I'm not even going to read this out loud. I have no knowledge of any of this.
I'm reading that.
I don't remember this.
Correctly. She took clients into the champagne room and would threaten them with violence.
Bro, Illuminati is being accused of being Cardi B.
Lied to the bouncers about being molested and have them beat the...
Dude, Illumacardi? What?
...person up if they didn't give her more money. Should have been the last red flag.
Your good friend Jimmy Robbins, I thought I said Timmy Robbins, has a 2-hour video on her. Yeah, it sucked. In the beginning, she goes, this was one of the most respected YouTubers I've ever seen.
Blair had made enemies within the commentary community. These sour ties hardly affected her new ventures and relationships,
Not at
as
all,
by
yeah,
January
literally.
2020, she had a new partner known as Oz Media.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo.
Oh, dude.
Mr. Oreo.
Remember Oz
Did
Media?
you know that strippers make more money when they are ovulating?
Who was also...
What? The fuck did you just say?
creating similar videos covering subreddits. Blair, Oz Media, and a few other channels such as The Click, Wonderstruck, and One Topic,
Like, all these people have come out and exposed Blair in the time since.
had joined in creating Sad Milk, a collaboration channel. There are more channels, but these are the most relevant to Blair. The content consisted of the group reacting to memes and the like while in a group call.
Dude, I actually like this group for Blair better than when she tried to be... That was another thing, right? She didn't want to be just the Reddit YouTuber or just the fucking MLM person or whatever. She wanted to make her own content. So she started doing politics with Lance from the Sur. It's so funny, bro. Everyone does this. They just go and join the fucking... the worst people on Twitch poll. Whenever they get bored, they go right to Twitch poll. I did this. I went to Twitch poll.
As Sad Milk grew, Blair began shifting her own videos towards the ever-popular video essay genre. Though she stuck with the main theme of coverage of MLMs, her videos were hardly limited in topic. While her Reddit videos had her at 2.5 million views a month, her video essays doubled that. In September, as seen in the Social Blade graph, her channel...
Yeah, the video essays literally saved her channel. It's crazy. By the way, that's only 2 million views per month? Really? We're running Blair pace. Crazy.
channel had lost 34 million
Nicholas,
views, likely
goat.
due to the mass
Thank you for
deletion
the
of her Reddit
$5,
videos.
my
Though this new genre brought in far more interest, the consequences of this shift were large, but not entirely understood until several years later. Both the success and issues of such are boiled down to a rate of...
That's crazy, dude. Because I remember that her growth really did look like an insurmountable number, right? I think last month we did 3 million views on this channel. That's what it said on the back end. That's fucking crazy.
uploads. While nowhere near the pace of 2 videos a day she once had, Blair would still upload 3 to 5...
Now, I don't know if that's what the public number is going to look like, because we private the streams after, so that takes away from like the Social Blade. But yeah, that was in the last 28 days I'd seen that.
5 videos weekly. While some channels opt to delve into subjects to get a unique perspective, refine the script, and fact-check all the claims multiple times, Blair chose to do none of this. Her videos were laden with mistakes and constantly removed.
I can't believe how good June's research is on this. I don't think anybody would care about any of this extra side shit. Like, this feels like it's made for me to enjoy, because I didn't really cash in on it when it happened. But this is just, it's very in-depth, and it has all the old information in it.
Comparing this Wayback Machine screenshot of June 17, 2020 to the videos found on her channel shows that 5 of these 30 videos had been removed. However, there are videos on her channel with massive mistakes.
I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. June's research is always fairly, like, it's always deep. He always has a lot more information than other people do when they cover stuff like this.
Still stand. A different possibility for the removal could be copyright claims. In fact, June 2020 marks the earliest, if not the first time, she was somewhat accused of, not exactly copyright, but rather plagiarism.
Coincidences happen, and I'm sure as a larger YouTuber, you're accused of stealing.
Dude, you know what the hardest thing in the world is? Because you have to realize that it's not entirely somebody's fault if their video is plagiarized, if they didn't write the script. Yes, it's their fault. They should know, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna, like, that's why I don't have people write for me. That's 100% of the reason why I don't like people writing for me. And I'm glad that Aiden never made that Creator Clash video for me. Because you don't know what the work is, like, that's being submitted is. Nobody's putting this work into, like, a school, checker or something like that, especially now with like ChatGPT. You don't know where that information is being pulled from. It very well could be coming from somebody else's script now, and you don't know where your editors and your script writers are pulling it from. It's a very difficult thing to happen because, like, I don't know, I feel like you got to give some grace if this person unknowingly plagiarized off of somebody else because their editor or their script writer just decided to go fucking cash in and be lazy.
Content from people you've never.
AVGN had that happen with plagiarism. It's like you owe that person an apology and you need to do something about it to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. But it's one of those things, like, how do you 100% prevent somebody who writes your script from not doing something if you can't look into their mind? What are you're gonna put this through software every time it's sent to you? At that point, it's not even worth hiring someone to write it. If you have to do if you have to do more research yourself to justify using a script that somebody else did for you, it defeats the purpose of somebody else doing the work for you.
Never even heard of or seen before. So I get it.
Or you could just do a John and copy me.
If this message comes across that way.
That was creator Cruel World Happy Mind. On April 23rd, 2020, she released her video on Tyra Banks. Then on May 20, 2020, she released a follow-up. A little over a week after, Blair released her video on Tyra Banks that is especially similar to Cruel World's videos. Viewers informed Cruel World of this, which is when she messaged Blair.
My favorite thing, you're never going to see these videos again because they're probably all long gone, but she was doing this thing where she was trying to make herself like one of the top Reddit YouTubers. So when they exposed this mystery box or misery box person, she was like, I feel like I need to speak up on behalf of the Redditors the Reddit YouTubers who come from this humble community, and we need to weed out those bad actors, right? She always wanted to fucking be somebody. That was her main driving factor. It's very Bo Blacksian of her. Because she always put herself on that pedestal like she was somebody, when the reality was she was another voice. And then when she realized that that was the only way to succeed, she literally became a voice for her channel, and it left her not feeling satisfied with who she was. That's why she's here. At least that's my read.
Nothing came of this. Until Blair decided...
Did you mention her failed video on Slazo? No. So again, that was one of the things she was doing, right? She was making these videos on the Reddit YouTubers. Like, she was like the Reddit drama person who'd come in and clean up after a Reddit YouTuber got exposed. So one of the ones she did that with was Slazo, but she was so fucking late to the party, she uploaded the video like the day before it got debunked. So that video was deleted so quickly, there is no archive of it ever existing, and people still claim it was never there. And I don't have it, there's no way I could possibly show it to you, but we fucking remembered it, and we went to go download it, and it was already gone. So she got in, got out, and then no one considers her like one of the false accusers at the time, when that's how I remember the video. I don't know for a matter of fact what she said in it, but that was how I remembered it.
To speak vaguely upon the...
No archive at all, zero. Nobody has that video. I've been looking for it for 6 years.
Drama in a podcast. This is that audio.
I'm gonna try and keep it vague so I don't mention this person's channel.
Yeah.
But it's a very small YouTuber, and she DM'd me on Instagram, and she goes, I'm just really disappointed because you're someone I look up to, and you copied my video, and I want credit. Right? So I didn't know who this person was, so I went to my...
I should have reached out to that person and said, hey, just to let you know, Blair might have used a lot of your script here. Not saying you should do anything about it, but, you know, just in case you want to protect yourself.
Moderators.
That's probably the joke that I made when this happened.
In my Discord server, and I was like, hey, I screenshotted the message, I sent it to them, and I said, do you know, is this a YouTube?
Notice how she had to say small YouTuber? No, she had a very inflated ego. Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, egos are great. Egos are bad. Whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's not deserved, it's funny. And that's what Blair had. Blair had a funny ego.
Can you guys like tell me who this is or what they're even talking about? Because I had no idea.
Yeah.
They come back to me. It's this small channel. I'll just say less than 50,000 subscribers at the time. And she sources me. She uses me as a source in her videos, for one. So I found it kind of funny.
Blair's saving grace is she did not mention Cruel World by name.
Obviously, the first thing I did before even looking at her videos is I went to look at her sourcing list, because I think that's really important, is what do you use? And she had 5 sources. You know, I have to use a pastebin document because I have anywhere 30 to 70 sources per video. I don't play around.
That was a thing that just happened back in the day. Like, people would put fucking huge files like that in their description. What I did is I would just link other people's videos that I thought were decent on the subjects and stuff, and just not steal from them. That was usually my goal back then. I don't know. I never got called out for that, and I didn't have to put 70 sources in my description to show where every thought fucking came from.
But she had like 5 sources. You know, one was Wikipedia, one was BuzzFeed, one was like TMZ or something.
Oh my god.
The most, you know, oh god.
And those
BuzzFeed was still uncool back then for her.
sources are okay for a reference on certain things. Like I use Wikipedia as a starting point.
These statements are false. Cruel World does not cite Wikipedia a single time in either of her
Really? That's so funny, dude. She is so fucking aggressive.
videos. Going to a Wayback Machine
What a fucking asshole.
screenshot of Wikipedia of May 2020 and
It's not enough to take from somebody, you gotta slander them too.
cross-referencing the sources
And you know you can get away with it because you're big enough.
in the video's descriptions.
Listen, the scariest thing that could ever happen is a person who's never been checked before going on a crazy power trip. Because you know eventually it will happen and it'll be really embarrassing and they'll look like a fucking idiot. But if they've never been checked before, they don't know to fucking heel and pull back. They just do crazy shit because nobody's ever told them no before.
It shows that not one of Cruel World's sources are actually found on Wikipedia.
That face when nobody checked. You have to understand though, nobody really knew about this drama, and even less people knew about that clip because they didn't even name this person. This is very, like, we're 20 minutes into this hour-long video right now, and we're still touching, like, very small things that have only now gotten a magnifying glass because of all of our other behavior. It wasn't, people didn't care, people didn't see it, people didn't know who these people were.
Moreover, though Blair inflates her sourcing list to averaging 30 to 70,
No shade, it happens all the time. Yeah, literally, this is every YouTube drama. Every time some big YouTuber gets exposed, you find a laundry list of all the bullshit they did to people who didn't have a platform to explain it previously.
it often hovers around 20. And looking at Blair's sources for her Tyra Banks video reveals not only her citing Wikipedia, but also citing 4 of the 6 sources found in one of Cruel World's videos. Looking at Cruel World's second video, it has 2 sources.
And by the way, watching Blair back, I have never been more happy about my decision of how I've treated my YouTube channel. Because I've always been around people who took like the, I don't want to say the easy road, right? But they made the niche content. They didn't want to make that shit, dude. I fundamentally believe if you're a person who wants to do YouTube, you need to get out there and brute force it. You might not get where all these other people get. You might never get there, actually. But what you will do is build a platform where you can talk about whatever the fuck you want, and people will give a shit what you have to say if you give them a reason to. If you sit there and do all this weird sellout shit, you can build a channel full of subs that don't even know who you are. And if that's what you want and you just want to make a shitload of money, fucking all the power to you. Go for it. That's definitely an option, right? But if you're like Bo Blacks or you're like Illuminaughtii and you really want more, or you really, you have a passion that you want to follow, then you'll never be satisfied with that. You need to do it your way. And sometimes your way isn't marketable and you'll just never make it. But that's something that you have to, find out for yourself.
That is, if you did not read. The first link is a link to BuzzFeed, but it was stating that it was Tyra responding to the backlash after Cruel World released a video. This is not a source. Blair is also an avid user of Wikipedia. The first available video
Oh my god. It's projection. It's literally projection.
on her
Well, she even tried to like go back and be like, well, I think Wikipedia is a good starter source, right?
channel about MLMs lists Wikipedia as nearly 1/3 of its sources.
It's a good starter point.
Even with this
But then again, you go back and look through her content. It's literally like researched by so-and-so. So who fucking knows at this point?
of information,
she cites like researchers.
She still gets information wrong.
One of the earliest MLMs, or what we consider currently to be an MLM started all the way back in 1934, is a company called Neutralite.
The top of the wiki states that while the products were being developed in 1934, the second paragraph clarifies that it was not until 1939 that it was renamed Neutralite. This holds true with Neutralite Products Incorporated as found on California's Secretary of State website. This is to say that not only is Cruel World not guilty of what Blair is accusing her of, Blair is guilty of almost all of it.
And just gives her opinion on how she feels about things. And I said, you cannot believe for 1 second, ma'am, that I am copying you. You are giving an opinion. I don't do that. In my opinion, Tyra realized what it really means to be an MLM and the legal hoops you have to jump through.
It hardly ends here.
You're looking at how I outline my videos, you're trying to replicate that, and then when I cover a topic that you've already covered, I guess, then you say that I'm copying you. But
it's even funnier to know that she was like a talentless hack the entire time, who at this point clearly had a crazy self-inflated sense of worth because things were going in her favor.
I was like, honey, I've been doing the same thing. Like, that's not my fault.
Blair did not cover Tyra Banks before Cruel World. Furthermore, Blair mentions,
yeah, I don't give opinions in my videos, so anyways, here's my opinion.
The stealing of an outline. An outline is the foundation of the video. It's its skeleton that is filled in. Comparing Blair's video...
But, like, here's the thing. Blair was just, like, a fucking head case the entire time. But YouTube enables people like this, who have, like, no social skills or anything like that, to get in front of a camera and become extremely successful up until the day or whatever that they realize they can't handle what comes with it, and then it becomes a really big disaster for everybody who has somehow gotten involved. Like, I can't imagine. Like, it's like a scary thought. Imagine you're financially tied to Blair because you didn't know this person was fucking crazy. So now imagine, like, you're paying your rent because iilluminaughtii continues to make fucking videos and churns these things out. Like, that scares me that she was like an employer of somebody when she was so fucking crazy.
Cruel World's first video shows some stark commonalities in how they're outlined. It is less about the similar information that appears, but how often it is presented in a similar sequence.
She has a...
You keep referring to Bo Black's actions as rape, concern raping, and debate raping? What do you... I'm so confused. What does debate raping have to do with rape? What does concern raping have to do with rape? Every time it comes up, we give a literal definition to these made-up words. I don't know. What could you possibly draw there?
Ton of controversy surrounding America's Next Top Model, and I've got quite a few issues with her, really.
The company Tyra Beauty was, of course, flawlessly launched.
What are you talking about? I'm just saying that he's like the Harvey Weinstein of debates. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm kidding.
Through an America's Next Top Model episode.
In 2000.
What do you mean concern raping? Dude, okay, we did this earlier in the fucking stream, okay? Because he was concern trolling Tipster, but it was so egregious and aggressive that we said it wasn't a concern troll. It is escalated to a concern rape. So he's concern raped Tipster. That is how he describes it, okay? It's like, you know how like Hassan Piker labels everyone debate perverts, and then Destiny responded back to that by calling them debate pedophiles. And then I think somebody turned around and said, oh yeah, well, you're a debate rapist. And you just start using all of these hyper fucking specific terms at the end of whatever you want. Like, it's not just slop. It's fucking drama rape. It's not slop commentary, dude. It's drama pedophilia or something. That's the only, like, you have to keep like escalating the word to make the person you're talking about sound worse and worse by like adding a meaningless fucking phrase at the end of it.
2012, Banks told anyone and everyone that she graduated from Harvard Business School.
But like, you have to realize this is what people do constantly. They just like, they create new terms that are like bigger and worse than the previous one so they can justify like not liking something.
Posing for pictures with her
dude, this is literal debate genocide right now that's happening on stream. Holy fuck, dude. You are a debate child murderer.
A diploma. But as Jezebel, another news source, reported, she was in fact graduated from the Owner-President Management Program at Harvard, a non-degree granting certificate course at Harvard.
Okay, I just had to talk about this. In this video and also online, Tyra talks about her Harvard Business School graduation. But This is not the Master's in Business Administration degree that Tyra received. In fact,
misinformation? Who is that?
She only attended a course called the Owner President Management Extension Program. That's not part of the school's master's degree.
The Why I Started Tyra Beauty commercial or recruitment ad or whatever you want to call it is a classic MLM stuff.
But the most upsetting video of all of this, I have to say, is Tyra Banks's video of why I created Tyra Beauty.
It could be a coincidence that many of these videos were presented following one another, but videos like these can be presented vastly different. It can start chronologically, starting from Tyra mentioning her mom, or even customer reviews to foreshadow the disappointment. This is all suspicious considering, according to Cruel World, Blair did not post her sources until confronted.
There were no sources on this person's video. The only thing it had in the description
I thought she has like 37 sources in every description. What's going on?
In parentheses, sources coming soon.
Oh, dude, the sources haven't dropped yet. New sources coming soon, dude.
On February 6,
This Sunday night, you'll find out exactly how I got all of my wrong information.
2021, Cruel World addressed this in a video. Also choosing to keep Blair anonymous, Cruel World summarizes the happenings up to this point, giving Blair the benefit of the doubt, writing off these similarities
Yeah, unfortunately, Bethesda put the sources in like the fucking downloadable content
as a coincidence. However, when Cruel World was made aware
No, the reason why she clogged the toilet is because she had 37 sauces, bro. Thank you, Namey McNameface, for the joke.
of the comments Blair made on the podcast and two
I'm glad her channel failed. Bro, me too, dude. I used to pray for times like this.
Instagram stories that Cruel World alleges existed, her tone changed.
This is where it gets really weird and really shocking. This person makes another Instagram story where they say
the
something.
goat. Thank you for the $5.
Dude, the only bad part about Illuminati getting obliterated by H Bomber Guy is that, like, after that, everybody became, like, fucking plagiarism snobs, dude. We're gonna go on a whole rant about that fucking guy. What was his name? The guy who got, like, attacked for, like, becoming a wedding photographer after the fact? James Somerton, dude. James Somerton got, like, obliterated. And then they, like, dragged him back up and then beat the shit out of him again. Right? Then they put him on a chair, and they're like, come on, stand up, motherfucker, stand up. They beat the shit out of him again. And it was like, all right, I don't know.
Along the lines of alluding to the fact that I'm untrustworthy.
Then they let him go for a while, and then they fucking went to his house and beat the shit out of him again. Hypothetically, of course. We're not talking about literally.
Because my profile shows up on a website that's supposedly about buying YouTube bots.
The indirect nature of this confrontation thus far has made this confusing. The lack of sources make it difficult to follow.
H Bomber Guy sounds like a name of a Bad Empanada alt, doesn't it? Doesn't that kind of sound like something Bad Empanada would call himself?
Up on Cruel World's claims. But what she does present is enough to piece together how this ended. First, Blair was alluding to doing a debunking stream. Then by February 8th, this tension was aired out. It was made clear that Cruel World was talking about Blair and vice versa. Blair,
you would call him like H3 Bomber Guy or something.
In a message to Cruel World, claims that Cruel World was responsible for ripping the veil of the previously obscured conflict. But Blair extends the olive branch by asking, quote, "Is there some common ground we could find in this?" Unquote. After a 3-hour-long phone call, the issue was resolved. Blair states she will not go forward with her livestream and in, quote, removing her part about me and a video she recently did. Unquote. This is the video in question, and that section is indeed missing. It is now only found archived through videos dissecting their conflict. This story, the way it was all going on without the knowledge of viewers, only for it to be already.
What's the beef with Tommy C and Chud?
I have no idea. You can go check my Discord server. We have a whole spot where I won't read about it. Anywho, there is something I do want to show you here. Take a look at this. Oh, wait, what? Are we back? Oh, God, no. Did it glitch? Dude, that donation came through, and then the whole stream died. Crazy. It's like YouTube saved me from covering non-tent. Thank you.
Revealed indeed.
Here's something. I actually did notice something right now. It's pretty important. Wait, look.
Unquote. This is...
Dude, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? You see the fundraiser symbol? This whole video is a charity. Crazy, dude. This whole video is a charity. All right, sorry.
The video in question, and that section is indeed missing. It is now only found archived through videos dissecting their conflict. This story,
Yeah, there's a big donate button next to it. It's for charity. It's for charity.
the way it was all going on without the knowledge of viewers, only for it to be all revealed and blow up spectacularly, would repeat on a far larger scale. It would involve more people, have far worse claims, and damage virtually all those involved. This upcoming conflict, where Blair is at the center, would not end with reconciliation.
So now we're probably getting to the more like recent stuff, right?
This begins with Sad Milk. The channel had progressively taken more effort than it was worth. From a business standpoint,
Nick, when's your charity stream? Fucking never, bro. I'm going to the charity of me, dude. The charity of this guy.
the growth was abysmal in comparison to the individual growth of the channels involved. From a retrospective angle, the channel was the beginning of a long road of
The most charity I do is talk about Bo Blacks. At least people will remember who he is.
suffering for many involved, even past its dissolution. By mid-2020, tensions were rising with its collaborators. There was conflict with deciding editing costs, scheduling times to record made more
Sad Milk literally ended Blair's career. Yeah, and I'm super grateful for it. Fuck yeah.
difficult, with different creators living in far different
Yeah, and drink that down with some mango.
time zones, and then there was Blair, who had control in the absence of leadership. The first outward signs of its collapse came in October 2020.
It's funny, anytime Blair enters like a thinking role, that's when everything goes to shit. As soon as Blair has to like make decisions or be creative, every project just turns to dust and blows away.
Sometime between October 2nd and October 16th, collaborators One Topic and The Click were removed from the list of channel members found on the home page. Behind the scenes, a meeting was called to address some of the rising issues. Blair claims to have not wanted to attend due to her frustration with the responsibilities. After joining the meeting regardless
Dude, Blair, responsibilities? What? That's for small YouTuber. I'm being a dick, sorry.
of this wish, she eventually shouted at One Topic and said something along the lines of, "Shut the fuck up." One Topic left the call due to this outburst. Then on October 9th, he announced to the group that he was stepping away from the project. The following day, the Click left as well. This was not announced to the public until November 1st, 2020, which also announced the departure of a different member. As the Click will later point out,
It's
only
like this whole channel is actually gone. You just don't know it yet.
3 hours from this announcement, Blair
Thank you,
What's
Master
the name
Beef.
of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo.
tweeted,
Mr.
quote,
Oreo.
"Casual reminder,
Let's not forget your iconic quote of, fuck the whales. Fuck the dolphins. Don't donate to them. I think they should all die."
I think I said that. I don't think you're making that up. No, you know what it was? It was Tommy. Tommy C had a bit he would do on his streams back in the day, and he would start talking about pandas. I think that's what you're thinking of. When he's like, the pandas are so fucking stupid, they don't even fuck. Like, they're making these pandas have sex with each other just so pandas can continue to breed. Like, why are we raping these pandas so they don't die out? Let them die. They want to die. Pandas don't want to live anymore. Let them die. That was his bit that he was doing.
Ophelia is never a
Maybe I did say something about, like letting whales and dolphins die. I'm pretty based, actually, but...
quote-unquote gray area. It's wrong. If someone you know won't take actions, then they are complicit to the problem.
He's right. Yeah, no, like, literally. If an animal is not breeding, like they're holding its fucking junk and jamming it into another fucking animal because they won't breed, let them die. They have decided that pandas have lived long enough.
Quote. The Click claims that with Sad Milk retweeting Blair, it stirred up rumors about why they left. This was the intended effect and is tied to what was previously a resolved issue that began in September.
Can you imagine? It's like, unfortunately, there's only 5 pandas left and they're all gay. So there's nothing we can do.
This screenshot was of a 19-year-old Discord user stating that they were dating a 13-year-old.
Dude, life finds a way. But like, we found a way to keep the pandas alive. I don't understand.
This user even states that they got in contact on TeamSpeak, not the Click server, which is where this was all being posted.
Nicholas,
it did not take long for this admission to come.
Thank you. Pandas are iDubbbz pilled. Yeah, iDubbbz in a lot of ways is very much like a panda. You know? He's got like the same survival instinct of pandas.
Come to the attention of server mods, who some were also the shared mods.
Dude, the mods for Illuminaughtii was literally the worst thing on the planet. That was where she got really annoying back then.
Blair. The user was banned.
And they all call... Oh, that's another one, dude. Red flag alert. Red flag alert. They called her mommy. Her fucking Discord server called her mommy.
Shortly after, and allegedly reported to Discord's trust and safety team. In a message to One Topic, she makes the allegation that the clique knew this was happening. However, the clique alleges that since this was 2 a.m. his time, he was asleep when this was all happening.
Dude, anybody who's like who makes their Discord call them daddy or fucking mommy's weird, okay? You don't need any other information. That's a huge red flag that they're just like fucking schizo.
And woke up to the chaos of what happened, made all the more confusing since the user was already banned.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, Papa Gut. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Don't make me kiss anyone.
The clique and Blair discussed this, with Blair stating that she was proud of the clique. This brings us back to the tweet Blair had made a month and a half after the events were seemingly resolved. Now Blair was actively trying to harm the clique. In this leaked Discord screenshot, Blair states she is writing a piece about sad milk, but it is written from the third person.
So Blair, dude. I'm gonna write some crazy thing on sad milk, and I'm gonna do it in the third person so they can't track it back to me.
Quote, I saw the sad milk announcement. Unquote. This is quite strange considering she is the one who wrote said announcement.
Bro, she deserves to fucking go down for years. I'm so happy it happened. But that's the thing, right? It's not really waiting for karma. I made that comment before. That's not necessarily accurate.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
You know what Blair is? To quote The Dark Knight, she's a dog chasing fucking cars. She doesn't know what to do now that she's caught one. So eventually, something's going to go wrong. It might not go wrong today or tomorrow. Maybe the dog example isn't really the best one. But at the end of the day, no matter what she's doing, she's still a dog chasing cars. Okay? It's bound to go bad at some point.
Strange, until it was posted not under Blair's account, but this account that went under Doobie Schmertz. It believed...
Doobie Schmertz. Dude, that's another Bo Blacksian thing. What is this, bro? I want to go hear Bo Blacks talk about how Blair was a schizo a couple of years ago in the old Augie episodes. Because Bo Blacks did this too.
There is a piece of the puzzle missing. With little to no traction following the insinuation Blair had made, this post was attempting to nudge interest towards it. Quote, like, it really...
He was there. You know, he 100% was there for all of the streams. It's like this was his way of learning how to, like, infiltrate Ethan's community.
Looks like, quote-unquote, created differences is dumb AF.
Which, by the way, I'm going to mention this every time. It's extremely funny how bad that he wanted this, and I fell into it purely by accident. Like, I fell into this completely by accident. I actually advised him in the past not to do, like, to not try to, like, I don't know, because what he wanted desperately was to, like, go on the show, I think. I think that's what he wanted. And I was like, I don't know, dude. You're kind of just a soundboard machine. I don't know. Do you really want to be treated as, like, a fucking human being?
I just saw Keffel's tweet.
But Bo Blacks just saw it as a way to grow, I think.
Keffel's appreciated the show.
Blair tweeting about being stabbed in the back.
It was when you hijacked one of Augie's streams for the "fuck the whales" thing.
Really?
Can't remember which one. Lol.
Dude, one of the craziest stream hijackings I ever did is we were doing a charity stream for axolotls or something, and it was boring as shit. So the guy who was doing it shared the screen and accidentally showed the stream key. So I put that shit in my OBS, right? And I fucking stole his show. I literally put it in my OBS and I just started streaming over him on his channel, and there was not, he was trying to figure out how to stop me, but I was like, nah, dude, who's gonna stop me, bro? It's my channel. Who's gonna stop me? And I just started fucking streaming about how much I hated axolotls on his stream, and the title stayed the same. It was just an input coming from a different person, and I was like, all these axolotls need to die. I fucking hate them.
One Topic leaving his supporter server, and then watching so many of his mods disappear, and Wonderstruck talking about how he hates friends fighting, and even Clicky not streaming as much, and deleting some of his streams and clips. I think something happened, guys. I think I figured out what really happened. Unquote. The discovery was...
Yeah, that's literal stream rape. You're actually right. That's probably the description. That's pretty true. Yeah, I'd say that's true. That's true. That's pretty true. Yeah, that's true. I'd say that's pretty true.
Was that this, quote-unquote...
I killed the axolotls, dude.
Anonymous user pieced together that Blair saw the Clique's older videos and found out that Clique had used the R slur.
Dude, Blair, oh my god, dude. That's such a funny one, bro. That's such a funny one. Because it's not even cased in like that. He's a hypocrite. He says not to use this language, but he does. It's like, uh-oh, this is something that we would not want in our community. The R slur is a sacred word. It has not been reclaimed.
Then goes on to say, quote, as an autist, I was...
Oh my, as an autist myself, it deeply upsets me to know that he has used this word in the past.
Was mad, he would
Yeah, give me a break, Blair. Give me a fucking break.
call a Minecraft zombie that word.
Not even like he said it about, so he's not even like, fucking President Trump is retarded or something like that. It was that this zombie in this fucking video game's a retard. That was the huge fucking thing. That's crazy.
Unquote. This is the crux of the post, but it's also important to mention it praises Blair. Quote, Blair is—
I don't get it. What is your mileage? If you refuse to say the word, which by the way, you have the right to do it. I just don't play that. I don't really care. If you just start going around and say regarded, how is that better? Like, everyone knows what you mean. You're picking a word that's a sound-alike. Why are you better than me? Because you call it regarded. It's the same fucking thing. When you say regarded, like, your brain auto-completes the text as retarded. You might as well have just typed it. That's why you're saying it that way. It's not? That's insane. I don't think it's meaningfully different. Why is it meaningfully different? Why, the word's got history? That's not why anyone says it. Nobody says it because they're picturing, like, someone's defenseless little brother or something when they say it. People who use the word retarded use it as, like, a fucking synonym for, like, stupid or dumb, right? They're not using it to insult disabled people personally. So I guess I don't really see the reason why you're going to use a similar word that looks just like it, that your brain auto-corrects when you read it. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
is a big supporter of the community and Asen.
Speak for yourself. Apparently there's some real ableist actors in my chat right now who are getting mad at me for my definition game here. But I don't know. I don't really see the point. If everyone knows what you're trying to say and you just want to say the same word, but you've like changed a few letters and you're using it as a synonym, I don't really understand what the issue is. You've also decided a word means not what it says in the dictionary, I guess.
I love her videos about exposing Autism Speaks. I think Blair found out about this and fought—
like, unironically, by using the word regarded and using it to mean retarded, you're doing exactly what people who use the word retarded mean when they're trying to call something stupid. It's the exact same line of logic. You just pretend you're better because you don't use the exact same spelling.
with him about it. Unquote. The user then points to another video of the click saying the F slur.
It's about the effect. What is the meaningful difference between saying something's regarded and something's retarded? If everyone knows what you're trying to say, you're just doing it nicer. But you're trying to say the same word, which also isn't just stupid. Why don't you just say stupid then?
Quote, I think all of Sad Milk knows about these videos. I think he chose not to delete it, and it caused the fight. Unquote.
Like, dude, if I go around and I start calling people figs, all right? Like the fruit, would you say that's just cool? If I just start going around calling people figs all the time? So your brain auto-corrects that? When everyone knows what you're really trying to say? Is that okay? Is that cool? I don't know.
This is a gross sowing of a conspiracy theory that did not at all
and the word graped isn't like that. Graped is like that for monetization. That's why people say graped. Otherwise, they would just say raped. But people don't realize that you can just say rapist, pedophile, and murderer in a YouTube video without getting demonetized. Here's some fucking proof. If you're watching the VOD, this video's green.
reflect what actually happened. The top comment should have clarified how little viewers cared. Quote, Click has said that he was much less open-minded in the past, and considering the fact that—
I give up. I think regarded is cringe. Well, I mean, if you're not using the word regarded, the argument's not the same. But if you're using the word regarded, I don't know why there's a meaningful difference. That's all I'm saying. It's very specific to people who do that, right? You can have a billion reasons why I shouldn't use this word, but if you use regarded, I don't necessarily understand why.
these are from 2010, I think he has grown a lot as a person since then. Honestly, while you do bring up a good few points, I don't think we should start a heck ton of rumors about this situation. I don't want it to end up like it did with Flinders, where people were making—
Who the fuck is Flinders, dude? Why? No.
theories left
Dude, it almost happened again. Oh my god, 10 alive, it almost happened again.
and right. Though unfortunately, with a change this big, it's probably inevitable. Unquote. A second post was made to draw attention to the click saying the N-word in the past.
Uh-oh. Now there's no return.
This also failed to get any traction.
What?
And it was later
He
revealed that
survived.
Blair had also paid someone who goes as Felix the Kit Kat $200 to dig through the raw audio Sad Milk to find click using the R word.
Oh my dude, imagine the dedication to hire somebody to go watch your fucking like not even secret recordings, your like unedited recordings to try to find him saying it in private. That is crazy fucking work, especially when she's definitely used these words. I don't know. I don't believe that there's anyone who's alive who hasn't uttered a slur before. Everybody who's talking about like, oh, you said that? Has like a storied history of saying it themselves. I do not believe there's a person on planet Earth who hasn't said the N-word, the F-slur, or just retard.
Seeing how Redditors were forgiving of the word, considering how—
Dude, if you tell me that you've never said it before, I think you fucking said it to yourself. You were sitting in your room one night at 2 in the morning and you said it yourself.
Carry the entire FedEx route all day.
Thank you.
I became a member to get into the Discord, but the invite isn't working.
Okay, so you go to the community tab.
Or you will traumatize me, LMAO.
No. So you go to the community tab. There's a members post that has an updated link that you can go to, so you can get it from there.
How long ago he said it, Blair was looking for a more recent—
Bro, I don't care, dude. Listen to me. If you claim to have never said a word like that before, I think that you said it to yourself while no one was around, just to hear what you sound like. That's what I think. That's what I think about you, Mr. Goody.
What's the name of the
example,
guy?
though her efforts would eventually only harm her own reputation. For the time being, in mid-2021, after the conflict and resolution with Cruel World, while Sad Milk was absent of
I have never even thought the N-word. I have never once thought it. I've never even conceived upon me saying it. Lightning shoots from my fingertips at the thought!
Uploads, it was soon to be considered a dead channel. Blair made new efforts to improve relations with some of the remaining Sad Milk cast. Oz Media was a given, being that they were in a relationship and had moved in together at
Dude, when I read Kendrick Lamar lyrics, I beep it out in my mind.
Oz's new house. The other person of note was Wonderstruck Guy, who moved in shortly after Oz and Blair did. Blair hired Wonder June 7th as—
Dude, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to make a YouTube video. Today I'm gonna be exposing my inner monologue for thinking the N-word. Today we're gonna have to expose my inner monologue, but I did it in a black voice. How does your inner monologue work? I know not everyone has one. Can you make anyone's voice your inner monologue? Like, it could be my voice, it could be anybody's voice. Technically, my inner monologue can be anybody I want it to be.
An editor with a starting salary of $50,000. His role was not under Blair's main channel, but her second channel, iilluminaughtii, a channel that mostly hosted clips of her live streams.
I hate this shit, dude. I hate when people take their name and they're just like, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add like 2 more letters to my name and it's going to be like Teehee Swerve, you know? It's going to be pretty sick. I just said swerve in 2025. Okay.
There was not much work for Wonder to do during this period, a fact that displeased both Blair and Wonder. In this mix were—
Then again, my channel name is literally just my name twice with different like capitalization. I stole my whole channel name idea from D'Angelo Wallace, who had multiple channels that were D'Angelo Wallace. That way it would confuse you to subscribing to the other channel.
Plans for Wonder to become a tenant of Blair.
People are like, this is so confusing, Nick. What the fuck? Where'd all your subs go? And it's like, yeah, that's the point. I'm marketing it that way. I want you to find this channel and subscribe to it too.
Though those never materialized. But the BMW did.
Oh shit, dude. Get on.
One that Oz and Blair paid a significant down payment on and entered into questionable rent-to-own contract with Wonder. From just June to July, Wonder would not only be—
Do you want to go halvesies on a BMW? Why? Why would you go halvesies on a BMW?
Fired from his position, but would also lose this car. As Wonder claims, when editing one of iilluminauttii's videos, his software corrupted due to a faulty GPU.
Nick's inner monologue sounds like Carl Jobst. Literally, I could make my thoughts like come out as Carl Jobst's voice. If there's ever— imagine if there's ever like a technology that could like— I don't want to say read your mind, but can convert thought into like an audible sound. That would be crazy. Because I wouldn't need AI. I could just make everybody else's voices say funny things.
To reach the deadline, he flew back to—
Like, I would have imagine if you could project your mind. That would be crazy.
Texas to get a different computer to finish the job. There was some leeway here in that the deadline was pushed back from July 26th to August 2nd. Or so it seemed, as he was fired July 27th for not meeting the prior deadline.
It was here on this call that I was fired for explicitly not meeting deadlines, which I find highly confusing due to, once more, I must reiterate that my deadline was—
Alright, we're going to move up a little bit because I don't want to watch this entire video. I do want to send people there. So we're going to jump up to the explosive downfall section. And then I think we're going to leave it here. Because then there's continued downfall where you can hear more. But I am going to send you his channel eventually. Unfortunately, the stupid... Yeah, don't show this again. I want to make sure... Oh, God. Why is June not on the screen? Hold on. I hate when I do this, when it auto puts his name... Yeah, there we go. Now you can see June the King while I react to it. Here you go.
Is a compound ready to explode. The lightest strike initiates a chain reaction.
I'm sure you all know why we're here.
I knew why. I loved this so much, dude. As an onlooker who hated Illuminati, who hated Blair, this was so cool.
We are gathered here today in what might be the most comprehensive deep dive that I've done to lay to rest once and for all.
Get him! And there was so little footage of Blair. The poop video was like when everyone was using. It's so funny. Swoop! There it is. H-Bomber guy.
Being that explosions are a chain reaction, one can follow the chain back to the catalyst. Nitroglycerin hammer.
Dude, yeah, dude. That's what I was thinking.
Balloon needle. And Illuminati legal eagle.
Bro, when she called out Legal Eagle, I was so fucking... I was dying. Because you knew she just picked a fight she couldn't win. She absolutely... Dude, she got so lucky because her audience ate up everything she did previously, basically. But once she kind of strayed away from her stupid Reddit crew or whatever, or like the insulated area where she was fighting with people, she was fucked when the general public got involved.
On April 20th, 2023, Blair tweeted, quote, "Not at Legal Eagle editors broaching my editors to take my video style, and when they didn't give up the info..."
And her videos were generic shit, too. Like, no offense to her editors, but they weren't really doing anything crazy.
They literally copied...
And it's crazy, too. She's like, they're trying to steal my editor's style. Because Blair, again, has no style, right? Because she doesn't do any of this shit. Like, if she was forced to make her own main channel video, it'd be the worst video uploaded on her channel. So it's like, you're stealing the aesthetic of some editor that you could just literally go and hire, because it's not even Blair's style.
It. And BTW, I have the messages from my editors, and found an email from them too. Just changed the color from purple to blue. Huh, interesting. Unquote. Below, Blair posts the email in question. Except, the email is asking about how to make lighter colors.
Wait, what does that say? What does that say?
Blair post.
So, I went through my emails and found this one just outright saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but if you can make it easier for me, I'd appreciate it.
The email in question. Except, the email is asking about how to make lighter colors stick out. It was not even the same effect. Beyond these tweets pointing out how this is a non-issue, there was Legal Eagle's tweet stating that his channel had been using those two styles before she did. In his second tweet, 7 minutes later, Legal Eagle responds, quote, "I think this is a misunderstanding. Maybe don't assume ill intent next time?" Unquote. This was all it took. Popular content creator H-Bomber Guy responded with, quote, "I take plagiarism really seriously. So
he does. He would act... Later on, he would take plagiarism fairly seriously, yes.
Interested in an explanation. What exactly is wrong here?" Unquote.
Professor Hugh Freudenberg.
Professor Freudenberg has long been controversial.
A man named Hugh Freudenberg, a former immunologist who has been long
Dude, it's Mr. Freudenberg.
Controversial.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit involving the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic child patients with blood products.
In 1989, he was caught up in a bizarre lawsuit with the Food and Drug Administration, which told him he had to stop injecting his autistic patients with blood products.
Why does it sound so much worse coming out of her mouth? Holy shit. Can we go back to the guy who sounds like he could be on like a car YouTube channel? I like this guy.
From Blair's video on vaccines, spliced in with Brian Deere's documentary, the one she plagiarized. The way H-Bomber Guy discovered...
And it's like, I don't want to defend Blair in any capacity, but I know, and you know, that Blair is so fucking stupid. She didn't write that video. You know? Like... That's the only thing I have to say about like the way that she actually did go out. It's like, yeah, I mean, there is responsibility on her, but I would be extremely surprised to find out she wrote it.
With this was when he was making his own video on the subject, and while doing research, found that he had already seen her video. Because he saw Brian Deere's documentary. He had been holding on to this information until now. This chain reaction led to The Click, Wonderstruck, Ozmedia, and One Topic all making Twitter threads about the dissolution of Sad Milk and Blair. exposing her manipulative tactics through spreading her rumors, vying for control, and attempting to pit one against each other. Wonderstruck even posted a photo of her room captioned with, quote, "She lives like an actual mom."
Oh my god. So somebody had sent this to me and I didn't really know the up and down of actually showing it. Because we had like, somebody had sent me like 17 pictures inside her house. Nothing like defining where you could find it or whatever, but we didn't know if it would cross the line to show. But the reason why it was sent to me wasn't to get any information on where she lived or what she was doing. It was that she lived like a hoarder and there was just boxes and shit all over the floor. And this is I saw so many pictures like this and it was disgusting.
Monster. Her home is a mess. Like hoarders bad.
Yeah, I assume whoever had sent that to me had leaked it to Kiwi Farms.
Unquote. Looking back at her social blade during this time, she had only lost 20,000 subscribers from April 20th to the 26th. The former Sad Milk cast made their tweets from the 23rd to the 24th. However, Blair posted a response video on April 28th. On her social blade were the following days.
And this, by the way, folks, is why people don't make response videos. Because, like, when you tell your audience about all this shit and you make a bad video, they're just finding out from you that you're an asshole.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
I mean, sometimes it doesn't pay even if you're in the right, but if you're in the wrong, you're just asking people to unsubscribe. You're inviting them to, in fact.
She had now not only actively put a magnifying glass on her previous poor actions, she had also flat out lied throughout the video and made her case worse. The first topic was her apology to Legal. Then she moves on to H-Bomber-Guy's evidence of plagiarism, which she refutes. This is only 8 minutes into the video. The last 36 are on the former cast of Sad Milk. Here she apologizes for screaming at one topic. Then, when discussing the clique, she used—
And she deserves everything she gets because she was hunting. She was literally doing retard hunting. She was going back to find whatever fucking slurs or whatever were said in calls. She literally she paid somebody to go listen to slurs. It's like the light version of what YouTube fucking manual review people have to deal with on a daily basis when they're checking content.
This is her entire hand. She talks about the clique using slurs in the past and possibly present, the predator that was banned from his Discord, and a previous time an admin of his showed porn to minors.
And let me be abundantly clear here, I am not trying to accuse the clique of pedophilia, nor—
Oh my, dude, imagine making a response video to the allegations and hearing the sentence, "I am not trying to accuse the clique of pedophilia," pop up.
Or do I have—
like, what an idiot.
Any reason to believe that he could be a pedophile. However, he cultivated—
Yeah, it's even funnier that she paid someone to listen to 500 hours of raw audio to find where the clique said a slur. Yeah.
An environment that was a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior with minors to occur.
Whoa! Yeah, I'm not really accusing him of that. What I am accusing him of is horrible.
Cultivated an environment that was a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior with minors to occur.
Next on the chopping block was Wonderstruck. She brings forward their history while not mentioning her intention to be his landlord. She discusses how she repossessed the BMW, talks about the conflict between them and their dogs, and stated he was fired for not meeting deadlines while also not mentioning he was fired before his deadline extension. The last bit about Wonder airs out his mental health with the angle of showing it out of concern, and then she addresses the images of the messy room.
Furthermore, the photo he shows is a photo of a room that wasn't lived in by anyone in the house.
It's like there were like 16 pictures. And by the way, it wasn't lived in by anyone in the house. You have to dude, I don't know.
House?
Okay, yeah.
Finally, Blair—
I mean, I don't think a person could live in there. It looks toxic.
It
looks like fucking something that you'd find in a— This is literally, unironically, a room that you'd find in a deserted house in The Last of Us. It looks like the fungus is taken over. A clicker is going to come out from under the sheets.
Photo of a room that wasn't lived in by anyone in the house.
Finally, Blair discusses
better set piece than they had on HBO.
Disappointed that they could not mend the relationship. And while grateful at all that he had contributed and the memories they made, she expresses that ship has sailed.
I am disappointed in my behavior, and I hope that I can learn from all of it.
She sounds like she's not good enough of an actress to ult here. Like, she wants to ult hard, but she can't.
This. I want to own up to my faults and take responsibility.
This is probably the first video in years she had to write herself as well, which is even funnier because it was a failure.
Is DarkFab EU a virgin? No, I am not. Why would so many people be Googling that?
For my
it's
action.
NPR, Ultimate Genocide Review with Hassan Piker. a subsidiary of
No, actually, Hassan Piker's show is Ultimate Rape Denial, URD.
Furthermore, I want to take responsibility for my own involvement with a crowd I am happy to no longer associate with.
Sad Milk. The invested time, money, energy. Everything had its returns paid in red. As Blair had escalated this drama to YouTube, the former members released responses to this in not-so-quick succession. On May 2nd, the click...
You're being attacked by H-Bomber Guy? That's great. Let me hit every person tangential to me that could blow up my channel and have them all make more response videos at me. That's a great idea.
Uploaded his
The click annihilated her. I remember when this first dropped. That was crazy.
response, clarifying that he was asleep when the Predator was banned from his Discord. His lack of understanding of the culture around slurs in the English language, and Blair's part in it all.
Before we move on, I'm just gonna point out some funny hypocrisy. She said she would never be friends with someone that used that language, yet she regularly played games with me as a friend during this time.
Nicholas.
True.
Keffels appreciated the shout out.
Again, I don't know how she thought it was a
Thank you
good
for hitting the
idea to
goal.
air out what was essentially Wonderstruck's suicide note in her rebuttal video.
Because she's a genius. I don't know. She's a very smart gal.
Where I allegedly kept on saying these things. Which one is it? I don't think you can have both.
Revealed in this video was not only Blair's actions of paying an employee $200 to find instances of click saying slurs, but also her alt account attached to the campaign.
Technically asking them to leave, I guess. It's probably worse. Going back to the rumor machine, here's the same chat room again. Here is the same account, Doobieschmerz on Twitter.
Dude, oh my god, now she's getting like the stone dagger treatment here.
This was an account I remember distinctly from 2020, 2021 that was relentlessly harassing myself, my friends, my colleagues, my streaming colleagues, past colleagues, ex-Sad Milk members, community members, you name it. You name it.
Also, at this point, the click was a bigger channel than her. That was a major trigger point, is when people would exceed her.
May 11th, Wonderstruck released his video, which was more than twice as long as the clicks. It was here that he discusses his history with Blair, from Sad Milk, moving in with her and Oz when they were together, to eventually trying to become her tenant, to him getting fired and getting the BMW repossessed, and more recently, the airing out of his mental health.
That's the thing. You have to understand how much Blair lost. Blair became a landlord of her editor, and then the car that she got with him was a fucking BMW. Okay? You have to understand this thing was printing money. All she had to do, all you had to do, you had a good thing going, you stupid son of a bitch. We had Fring. We had Reddit. But no, you just had to blow it up because of your pride and your ego. Like, they were printing fucking money, dude. Does he have one eye? No, he's got bangs.
It is important to note that Blair also stated that Wonderstruck was fired because of an inappropriate forum comment.
And the comment I made was supposed to be grounds for termination. I'd like to reiterate that means a total loss of income to a person. This was along the lines of the comment that I made. If I could be an animal for a day, I would be a furry, and my favorite food would be ass.
Before ending the video with an interview with Oz, Wonder clarifies how messy Blair was, and that the one photo shared was not of an isolated incident.
These are...
Oh, those are the pictures that I had. I think they were even more, but holy shit, dude. Every room in her house looked like a fucking animal.
The living conditions of Oz Media's home after Blair moved back in. Conditions he was embarrassed by. Boxes, trash, cups of mold, all...
It's like, no, we were moving. It's like, what was the cup of mold?
Back in. Conditions he was embarrassed by. Boxes, trash, cups of mold, all sent to me again 2 years after I left Colorado.
I even remember on my 22nd birthday, I had asked, like, hey, would you please get, like, the kitchen and living room cleaned up so we actually have, like, a space to exist? And that was, like, my birthday present for that year.
She really was. She's the female Bo Blacks fused together with Asmongold.
There were no additional response videos in May. Coverage of Blair had picked up tremendously.
Dude, that was her old podcast with Lance. It's with Lance. Lance came out and started defending her too. Holy shit.
She was kicked out of one of the podcasts she was part of and
She
made
was on the leftist mafia.
a post stating that she was taking these allegations seriously. By that, she means sending a cease and desist to Oz and Wonderstruck. In June, One Topic made his own video on Blair, which was comparatively short. This existed more so to corroborate the other stories and establish his own. The key point is corroboration. Blair had her claims against the former Sad Milk cast, but the Sad Milk cast had their own retorts and painted a clearer picture of what Blair claimed, and directly and indirectly supported one another against her.
Dude, did all these guys go to the same barber? Is Ian's fucking trainer just cutting all their hair? What's happening here? They all are covering that eye.
As possibly her only defense, she continued action on the legal front, filing a civil protection order against Oz and Wonderstruck, which failed to go through. Blair
I've called the police on you for being mean to me online.
later tried restraining orders, which also failed to go through. Still in June, Cruel World released her video covering the effort.
Uh-oh. Now all the other people have decided to come back and get you again, bitch.
Mentioned videos on Blair and her own history with her. It is difficult to say what action was the most destructive to her viewer base, whether it was her video or sending out the cease and desist. Whatever it was, viewership fell drastically, down 95% from April 2023 to August of the
And then
same
she uploaded a video without audio because presumably she had to edit something herself.
year. Within this period, Blair was still posting regularly.
Oh,
From
we're gonna get
September
it. Here it
16th
is.
to August 1st, she earned $2,300.
It's in the thing? Wait, what? Dude, she made no money.
This was not bad compared to your average YouTube channel.
Yes, it was. That's horrible. For her, look at her in comparison to her average. No. This channel was probably making like, dude, I think this channel probably had to have been making like 100 grand a month at some point, right? Oh no, it says from 47,000. Dude, yeah, this is not that bad. Excuse me, sir. Am I getting clip champed here? Hold on, wait.
Until you factor in.
There it is. Yeah, she was making $47,000 per month, and it knocked her views down to the point where she made $2,000. That's horrible.
That a year ago, she made $47,000 in the same period last year.
Oh my
Also not
God.
mentioned are the employees kept on payroll. This was hardly the only blow to her finances, as the legal fees she would incur would no doubt increase. But there was a solution. She could foreclose on Oz's house to get some of the money owed quicker. This is why on September 16th, 2023, Oz made a video talking about the foreclosure. The GoFundMe.
Dude, it's so over. If only it was more over. I wish we can still make more Illuminati. Holy shit, dude.
To pay for it, and an upcoming video on Blair of sizable length.
I've put a lot of things in my life on hold to produce this video, ending up with nearly 110 pages of a manuscript which details as much of what I can. And let me tell you something. Converting this monstrosity into a video with its accompanying 1,000 screenshots has been one hell of a month.
Look at the dates again. It was 2 weeks. Oh yeah, you're right. So that means she was making over 100 grand that month. That's crazy. Well, presumably over 100 grand. Yeah, that's nuts. So she probably made an average $4,000 that month on the second one, and then the previous year she probably made like 96,000.
Finances.
94K a month is crazy.
As the legal fee.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like that sounds like yeah, we should get you a car. What do you think about a BMW? I don't want to go crazy. Maybe not like we're not getting like an Audi R8 or a Porsche, but we can go for like a BMW maybe. I don't know.
Fees she would incur would no doubt increase. But there was a solution. She could have foreclosed.
That does mean that I was right. I estimated. I just threw 100 out there, and it turns out, yeah, that's about right. That's funny.
On
Thank you.
Oz's house to get some of the.
You think she blew it all? Blair, if she didn't blow it all on legal fees, I bet she's a spender.
Money owed quicker. This is why on September 16th, 2023, Oz made a video talking about the foreclosure.
I wouldn't be surprised if she's close to broke.
The GoFundMe to pay for it, and an upcoming video on.
Because Blair was like mentally ill too, in my opinion, personally, from what I could see. I don't know. I don't think a person as egotistical as her ever thought there's a chance the money's going to dry up. So she probably spent it as soon as she made it. A lot of new money people. Like me! No,
Blair of sizable length.
I've put a lot of things in my life on hold to produce this video, ending up with nearly 110 pages of a manuscript which details as much of what I can. And let me tell you something. Converting this monstrosity into a video with its accompanying 1,000.
She defaulted on her taxes despite. Really? I'm gonna pretend I know what that means. What does defaulted mean?
Screenshots has been one hell of a monumental task for me, a one-person team to embark on.
Though the GoFundMe will surpass the goal of $4,000, it would not be enough
Yeah, that's not gonna help.
for the upcoming lawsuit. Oz was made aware of Blair's legal filings on September.
I remember Oz Media fired up a stream. It's like, I'm broke. I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. And they donated him like tens of thousands live on stream. That was one of the craziest things I ever saw.
27th. She was suing Oz
Oh, you owe, you no pay, and you default. That's crazy.
Media, Wonderstruck, and a
So they put her on like a payment plan?
different employee known as Felix.
Well, but yeah, here's the thing. Big YouTuber becomes big YouTuber and thinks they spend money. And then when they go to spend money, then they find out, uh-oh. Uh-oh, chat. That's not all mine.
The Kit Kat, who was paid to dig up dirt on the clique, but also informed the clique of such actions. Though Blair's channel already appeared to be irrecoverable by late 2023, there were two aspects that solidified this. One was the ongoing lawsuit, where other creators could work.
Nick doesn't know because he pays his taxes. I mean, you literally have to. Every fucking YouTuber who makes a shitload of money for the first time ends up like owing a shitload of money on taxes. Unless you're Boblax, where you overpay your taxes and you're so fucking stupid, you send the Canadian government more money than you earned in the entire year as your taxes. Or whatever the fuck he did. What did he do? Like, let's say, I don't know the exact numbers. Let's say he owed like fucking 60,000 in taxes. Apparently he spent like, he gave them like 100,000 or something, and then he had to wait for a refund because he was using previous year's estimates, I guess, because he didn't want to talk to, I don't know, dude. You go to an accountant, the accountant tells you what to pay. If you don't lie to your accountant, then you have no tax problems. That's like the easiest way to go about it.
Their way through controversies, Blair's ongoing lawsuit.
Then again,
was
Boblax got crypto scammed because they told him his wallet was going to close out if he didn't go buy Bitcoin real quick and send it to a fucking undisclosed thing.
a looming reminder of her controversies.
Basically, I had to fucking buy Razer gift cards in California. I'm telling you, 1 day away from Shellbo.
One that has the added element of suing the weakest parties in what appears to be an act of revenge rather than redemption. This emphasizes the conflicting images of iilluminaughtii, the righteous expose channel, and Blair, the litigious manipulator.
Yeah, Boblax sold his Tesla. He bought big. Like, he bought them when they were at their most expensive in Canada, right? And then he sold his Tesla when they're at their least valuable. He lost so much money, I imagine, from depreciation. It's not even funny. Like, it's actually hilarious if we're talking about it. Like, he literally just walked in. And again, I can make jokes about this because after I bought my red car, Elon Musk started doing fucking Heil Hitlers on stage, and then it blew up the price of all everyone's shit. So listen, I can make those jokes, dude. I ate some depreciation myself.
Second aspect is more straightforward.
But I was always going to. You know, if you buy a new Tesla, you're going to get depreciation.
The fact that her videos are passable, and once exposed to that fact, it is harder to look at them the same way.
Slimy,
it is this
fuck.
feeling and grander concept of plagiarism
with YouTuber money.
Base. Thank you, Glitched Out.
that H-Bomber Guy tackles in his video, Plagiarism and YouTube. While Blair's section is only around 40 minutes of his...
I'll tell you right now, a Model 3, as these things continue to get cheaper, if you're seeing some shit on the fucking, like on like a secondary market or something, or if you're looking at like used, it is such a fun daily. It is such a fucking fun daily driver. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough, especially if you can get one for fucking cheap. I absolutely can't recommend it enough.
His nearly 4-hour-long video, and it hammers in the issues with Blair's content, demeanor, response video, and the...
I'll probably own a gas car at another point, but I don't think I could leave the ecosystem. It's only been a year, so I'm not sure about that, but I think the software and shit is fun, but I think the best part of the car is just having like decent acceleration at such a not crazy expensive price.
Problem with content mills like hers.
Blair watched a documentary and then downloaded it and used it to make her own. In the first 20 minutes, she plays a chunk of the documentary or just quotes it.
If Teslas go on fire, does that make it a gas car?
25 times more than...
I don't like how everything is a touchscreen. Well, I mean, it's like the iPhone of cars, kind of. That's probably the best way to describe it. If you're... it really is the iPhone of cars.
And once a minute, you're hearing something Brian Deere said from his mouth or hers.
That was the same documentary that H-Bomber Guy covered in his video on vaccines, and the one he sourced his tweets towards Blair from. H-Bomber-Guy's video sits at 36 million views.
It created the YouTube drama subreddit.
Being that Blair's section is relatively early on in the video, undoubtedly, many new people were given the tools to understand why her videos are poorly made. Only 3 days later, on his second channel, H-Bomber-Guy released a 20-minute video solely on Blair. This covers how her videos were sometimes built on misinformation, which makes the point of the video moot and damaging. In similar fashion to how he exposed—
Dude, nuclear take. Sometimes there's misinformation in these videos, and that's bad. It was probably a bit more nuanced than that.
Blair's plagiarism of Brandon Steer's documentary, he shows how she did it with documentaries covering the Fire Festival. This video, while receiving less viewership than his plagiarism video, was still more viewed than even her most viewed video, and through exam—
Oh my god, dude. And that probably killed her, too. And you know, because she was a lefty, right? Like, she was in the lefty space hanging out with Lance. To get, like, mutilated by H-Bomber-Guy, specifically, is very funny. Because that's, like, the big guy over there, you know?
many of Blair's
like, that's like the big bread tube guy, I guess.
videos, he is correct. This is easiest to explain when starting from the beginning of her growth. These contain a selection of popular Reddit posts only tied together through the theme of the subreddit, and to that extent, her videos reading them. This format is so close to her video—
Ratioed? Actually, I think ragdoll is the best word. Like, you ever, like, watch someone get assassinated in Halo 3 and they just flop around, dude? That was literally her.
essays, it is almost unbelievable. To break this down, she gathers articles, videos, whatever is easiest to get on any given topic, and presents it with little to no connecting—
But here's the thing, she doesn't even do that. She hires somebody to do that. That was her content. Her content was hiring people to do the least amount of work possible.
Tissue or analysis, practically sacrificing quality for the sake of faster uploads. A good example of this is her video titled "The Myth of the Lazy Millennial" and Why Gen Z is Next. In this video, Blair summarizes article after article, which are only loosely related to the subject matter. The video is attempting—
According to a former employee, she didn't even know her videos had a new intro for weeks. I would not be surprised if that was accurate. Usually I don't try to read chat stuff of stuff I've never seen before, but that sounds like vintage Blair. I was droning on about this for like months. Actually, for years I was droning on about how funny this was, because she was such a dope. And then she just... And then all of a sudden, she just fucking just gave up and she let everybody else do it. She made so much money, she could just hire somebody to autopilot. Which, by the way, isn't necessarily a bad thing. But when you want to be the face of something and you autopilot your whole channel because you're not talented, it's very obvious what you're doing. It's a safety net.
To dispel this myth, but for some reason, Blair is focusing on industries millennials are blamed for killing. And somehow, she contradicts her own sources.
Laziest generation, according to boomers of course, is trying its best to off the common 9-to-5 workflow that Dolly Parton sang against about 3 decades ago. And Dolly Parton is most certainly not
a what? Isn't that like her whole thing? Wait, what?
Millennial. And that song seems—
Did she accidentally start reading some fucking...
to show that even—
Dude, all of a sudden they pulled up a Twitter and it was Ben Shapiro.
Even she understands the 9-to-5 labor structure is bullshit.
Blair, in her sources page, links to this page about the song 9-to-5.
Oh no, she's against the 9-to-5. Okay, my bad. I thought she started reading like, here's why the 9-to-5 is awesome and we should continue to work it.
Which explains the song was about gender inequality. This video, like many of Blair's, are carried by article after article after article, and if one ends, then it's on to the next article, instead of treating any of these as a jumping off point into her own analysis. To add to the problem—
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. I was like, I don't think if Blair can read. Could you imagine it was so bad she had to hire a dialogue coach to read the script to her, where she would then just repeat the lines? That would be the only way to make this thing more pathetic, is if she hired a dialogue coach to tell her how to enunciate the words. That would be amazing. I hope to God somebody does that one day.
She trusts and quotes sources blindly. Side note, Blair in her expose video states that her plagiarism of Brian Deere's documentary was an oversight, particularly in how she played a section of the documentary, only to then quote it without making it clear she was doing so.
Oh, guys, it wasn't plagiarism. I was making I was quoting it and then I cut out the part where I told you where I got it from. That's what happened, guys. It wasn't me plagiarizing. It was a mistake. I meant to tell you guys that I was making a reference.
Since then, I have learned to be much more overt and obvious with citations, something that may not have been
I wasn't very obvious with the citation here that didn't exist.
Perfectly clear to me 3 years ago.
I apologize for the oversight of not making that quote more clear.
In fairness, her vaccine video was several years ago, but the millennial video was only around 4 months before she made that statement, and lo and behold.
Interesting
And then when that happens, they go through your entire backlog and find any instance where that could even be slightly relevant.
about these mechanisms, though, is that the better we
You know where plagiarism is essentially impossible? When you just go on stream and just say all your opinions live. That's like the best thing you can do. Now you can pre-watch stuff and you can try to like formulate, I guess, I don't know. You could cheat, I guess, but like you're going to be judged here. It's not like you can like read a quote while you're streaming unless you're like a psychopath.
see our past, or the more we excel at certain traits, the more we tend to see the youth as deficient in those specific areas. For example, very intelligent people will perceive—
Dude, imagine faking your live reaction where like you have a pre-recorded script and you just have to act it out correctly. Like right now, I'm actually doing that. And that last sentence, even that like minor misspeak that I did, is actually written directly into the script. Everything that I'm saying right now is something that I wrote 3 days ago, knowing I was going to do this segment.
today's
And you'll never even know if I'm telling the truth.
youth to be especially less intelligent. Well-read people will especially think today's youth don't like reading, and authoritarian people will think that kids these days are less respectful.
To clarify, Blair does add her own commentary, her own through line or message, but it doesn't work. This is Blair's conclusion to her video.
It's hard to put yourself in—
The thing is, it's not Blair's conclusion. I'm not going to bash everybody who has a scriptwriter, because some of my friends use scriptwriters, but it's like, at the end of the day, I don't know what Blair's opinion on fucking anything is, at all. I have no idea. I don't know anything about Blair. I just know what was written for her to read out loud.
someone else's shoes, but maybe we should give it a try. There always seems to—
Some guy did that when he killed his girl. Oh my god, do you remember that? The alleged murder, I don't know if it was a conviction, but a guy had like supposedly killed his girlfriend, and then he created a fake live stream and then let it run to give himself an alibi.
be just one little tiny thing missing: consideration.
Then, this is her commentary from the very same video.
And then when I covered it, I used Tommy C as the thumbnail because he kind of looked like Tommy. And then I put in like big quotations or whatever that it was like the other guy, or like a really small text that it wasn't Tommy or something. But it was like killed his girlfriend and a picture of Tommy screaming.
The laziest generation, according to boomers. The cliche became so widespread that millennials couldn't even attend a family holiday dinner without hearing from their overly opinionated uncle about how their sense of entitlement and their poor attitude was killing his beloved sport of golf. They know what things were like for them, but don't see how it's different for the younger generations. And spoiler alert, boomers inadvertently made it worse. It almost comes as no surprise then that millennials and Gen Z are treating the boomer generation the same way you'd treat an incessant know-it-all who's always trying to one-up you at every turn. They're just turning away and ignoring them.
This video is a hodgepodge of loosely related articles. It gives credence to divisive articles, but later acknowledges those articles are as such, but only after she had retorted in the same fashion. What's more, the video is a corporate casket video, which is meant to focus on businesses. But it can be argued that it is business related. That argument cannot be made for this next video.
Hello and welcome to the Corporate Casket, a semi-weekly series.
Dude, the corporate casket, bro. Remember when she was Sarah J. Warren? I am your unapologetic feminist. Now I work with Lance and I do the corporate casket, and I like watching H-Bomber Guy until he makes the video on me.
Where bad businesses go to die. We will discuss any and everything from bad charities, terrible CEOs, and—
Dude, when's the Creator Clash video?
businesses that have a lot to hide. I'm the Illuminaughtii, and today, unfortunately, we're going to be talking about—
Blair is talking about pedophiles and is—
Remember TwizFizz? TwizFizz was astroturfed. Everything they said about like Kinetic Kel was true for TwizFizz.
series meant to cover corporations, but not just any pedophiles, maps specifically. There are large
Wait, what?
issues with the video's focus and some misspeaking, which is common in any video, but is strange in this one because she goes from pronouncing virtuous pedophiles correctly to—
Todd! Is it about Todd? Oh my god, is it about Todd? Dude, Todd's gonna be in here, dude. It's Todd Nick E.R. Son.
calling them virtual.
They call themselves virtual pedophiles, or—
Dude, the virtual pedos, dude. They're in the metaverse.
VERPED for short.
Dude, VERPED.
Even going against what the quote says on screen.
In regards to these virtual pedophiles entering the LGBT
Dude, the virtual pedophiles.
LGBTQ+ community,
This video goes widely off topic to pedophiles in general, The one tangent that seems to be going somewhere is just her alluding to the click situation before it
Oh no, dude, she started writing.
came out.
As kind
Every time you could tell she went off script is when her videos sucked.
of an offset tangent, I remember there was someone I used to be friends with who ran a Discord server, and
Remember the time when the guy who's my enemy did something that I'm gonna keep repeating because he won?
my friends and I found out that there was someone in that server who was above the age of 18, like explicitly talking about how they were in love or like in a relationship of some gross fucking variety with a 14-year-old. And then I stopped being friends with that person because that person wouldn't do anything about it. And they go, well, that's their personal life. Like they can deal with it. And I was like, what the fuck?
In her own tangent, she even gets the timeline wrong.
Shocker. Shocker. The evil person gets the timeline wrong.
The Discord fiasco took place in September 2020 when she stated she was proud of him. It was only after the click left a month later that she became hostile towards him. And before moving on, here is another example of spreading misinformation.
So, way back in his first few
So that's even funnier because it doesn't even debunk the actual allegation. It just says like Blair seems to like not have an issue with it, I guess.
YouTube videos, he's given multiple tutorials on how to scam other RuneScape players out of their high-level armor. He himself has 3 separate tutorials on how to pull off.
Random thing. You guys remember Tony? RuneScape Glory and Gold, bro? Rip Tony, dude. That guy would pop up every few months and jump back into drama.
These types of scams.
That is a video on Ice Poseidon. If she did minimal research into the game, looked at the comments, or even searched the value.
Wahoo! Dude, do you remember when Keffels made the video on fucking Ethan? And then it's like, I missed the time that Ethan was good to Tony. Anyways, Yahoo! It's like the weirdest intro to a video ever.
Of the in-game items, she would have found in scam video
Like literally plagiarized Tony's iconic Yahoo, dude.
1, Ice is overpaying for the armor he is quote-unquote
Wait, he's dead? Oh yeah, no, he's long dead. He's been dead for a while, dude.
scamming. In scam video 2, he is making players open a chest for him. In scam video 3, he is trading rare gilded armor for basic rune. She fell for his ancient bait. In this same video, she states,
He was banned from Twitch altogether in 2017 for having someone call in a bomb threat on a plane he was
For having someone call in a
this
bomb
is
threat?
also false. Ice Poseidon would have gone to jail if this were the case.
Yeah, that didn't happen. What do you? It doesn't even make sense. Just reading that out loud, I don't know how Ice Poseidon got banned, but I know he didn't order a bomb strike on a fucking
case. What really happened was that he said his gate number on stream. This is all to say her videos are shallow in research, in her own interest of the subjects she covers, and in her analysis if there is any to be found. That last statement, at times, can be taken quite literally.
But what about other storms? And why does this keep happening?
Hawaii. Oh no,
Nicholas,
dude.
the
Do you
goat.
understand what's
Thank you for the
happening?
$5,
Do you
my
understand
man.
what's happening? Oh no, chat. So she uploaded a video and it just didn't have any audio, so it was just awkwardly sitting here silently. Holy shit.
In this
That's when you knew, like, oh fuck, she's not paying anybody anymore.
December 28th, 2023 video,
Dude, she was muted in a fucking pre-recorded video. Remember when we made fun of Mudahar for just like fucking it up a little bit? Right? Like doing a little mistake. Little issue here in a pre-watch like video on iDubbbz' controversy. She uploaded an entire video. She definitely didn't watch it.
that is still up at the time of writing, Blair's narration
It's still up.
cuts out for 5 minutes, as H Bomber Guy pointed out on his Twitter. Past December 2023, her channel would hit a new viewership low. Her monthly views were dipping below 200,000. A year prior, if a single video only got 200,000, it would be considered a failure. While one can attribute H Bomber Guy to this decrease, Blair only uploaded 5 videos in 2024, which is the more likely cause to this steep decline. With her channel now dead, the only evidence of her existence online would be the ongoing lawsuit.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. That's so fucking cool. I love that so much for her.
After a month, there was very little in terms of updates. It was not until June 1st that there was a major update, through Oz. In this just over hour-long video, Oz states that the lawsuit has cost $40,000 so far. This is why he launched a second GoFundMe.
And then he eventually did a live stream. All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There's like another there's another 20 minutes here. I think you should watch it on June's channel. Hopefully I see June at VidCon, but Check his thing out. 145,000 views in a day. You should get that number up. Maybe you can hit like 400,000 soon. That'd be cool. His stuff's really good, dude. June's channel, really quickly. Let me see. Oh, I think his Destiny video is pretty good. Did we cover that on the channel? I haven't seen the Hassan one. I want to check that out. Oh my god! I never watched this. Did he do the interview with Medicare in this? I thought he was supposed to do an interview here. The Bathtub Ross Saga! Oh my god, I gotta watch this. This is so fucking funny, dude.
Normal, don't pretend.
Dude, I'm welcome.
Where's the fucking...
Do
you have the combo at
Ross
the end?
was entirely
This is the best stream of all time. This is the best stream of all time. The Kumite where Medicare debated Bathtub Ross. This is where the Todd clip comes from.
repentant in the stream.
Not gonna be civilized with you. You're a piece of shit. You should be lined
Neither
up.
am I.
You should
I
be
honestly
lined up
fucking
against
hate
the wall,
you,
Ross.
honestly, Jim, because
should
you
be lined
fucking
up against
spread
the
so
wall,
much
Ross.
fucking bullshit about
Oh my god.
me.
You should be
in a
lined up
constant
against
fucking
a
basis.
fucking wall.
Holy shit, dude.
Even though, like, the police interviewed me, Jim, and they said I'm not a pedophile.
Oh, they interviewed you.
You said you are!
So you didn't tell them the truth,
Yeah.
then? So you lied to the police. Are you saying on
Okay,
a live
you're
stream in
so
front of
fucking-
2,000 people that you lied to the police when
You
they
know,
came to investigate you for this? What an
And
idiot.
you know what,
are.
honestly,
you're so
like,
dumb. You're
like I
so
said,
dumb.
you're not delusional, you're the opposite of delusional, Jim. Yes, he is.
You're the opposite of delusional. That's amazing. Oh god, I gotta watch this shit. You know what? I might fucking, on a night that there's nothing going on, I'm gonna watch this video. Oh, I would love that shit, dude. Yeah, I recommend a ton of his stuff. This is the thumbnail scheme that I used to see. I didn't know he changed it up and does more of the, not like Staffo-centric. It's got like a current Tro vibe, I think, to it. But yeah, no, this is the June that I remember. It was when making these videos. June the King got like attacked by, oh god, was it Low Tier God went after June the King? Pretty fucking hard. Was a total pussy in that situation. Fuck that. I don't know. Did he get doxxed too? It was crazy. Yeah, Low Tier God. Everybody rips off Tro now. Well, Tro uses Staffo, same guy who did like half of commentary's thumbnails. Staffo was once employed by like every major YouTuber to do the. I think Internet of J, me, Kavos used him sometimes. John Swan used him. Gokunaru had a thumbnail made by I think that was on Keem's channel. Keem used him for Gokunaru when he uploaded the Content Vigilante video on Ethan Klein. You know, Staffo was paid by like everybody, dude. Jay Aubrey used Staffo too. Slacker, but nobody really knows who Slacker is. Wasn't it June that made the horrible hit piece on Ethan? I can't remember it. A few months ago? No. June did not make a video on Ethan months ago. Otherwise he wouldn't. No. No, that's King of Nothing. Oh, dude, you're mixing the wrong kings, dude. June the King and King of Nothing. King of Nothing is still, without a shadow of a doubt,
From
everything
the
that's
outside
gone
looking
wrong.
in, Patrick Bet David is the living embodiment.
Wait, he's deleted his community tab now? Oh, that's even funnier, dude. Remember when he posted his stupid Mario thing about fucking hitting 100,000 subscribers? Oh, shit, dude. Oh, shit, dude. Oh, no, bro. Oh, God. Yeah, this is the worst Ethan Klein video I've ever seen. Absolutely the worst one. Because dude, this video is so bad that the people who hate Ethan Klein still don't use these talking points. Like, we've seen every Ethan Klein argument brought back up again, but when you get to, like, the Goof Gang and the Seaman situation... Oh, the button is here, yeah. The NFT scam, all the crypto scam shit, you'll never see those talking points in a legitimate video. Where's the part where he's like, Ethan's obvious homophobia?
Some anal leaking. Now, we were saying, well, if he's getting blasted in the ass hard enough, potentially, you may need to wear a diaper. And a lot of you will say, like, okay, we've had a debate, like, I don't think vaginas...
I think you should go back and watch this fucking video. Or at least my coverage of this video. because I think my coverage was pretty good. It was, oh god, I think this is the first time that I started, when I watched this, I said, I don't know how King of Nothing is so bad. Ethan Klein seems like a fairly easy target to critique. Because again, the beginning of this video is literally just a retread of all the Gokinaru points, even the debunked ones, even the ones that Ethan literally refuted, like the Leafy rant and the PewDiePie situation. They both make an appearance here. It's like he watched Gokinaru's video, he read some posts on H3 Snark, and then like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But like some of the arguments in this video around the Goof Gang part conflict with some of the Gokinaru talking points that he reads earlier. Like the first half of this video, not even the first half, the first section of this video feels like it's written by a fallen fan who left during the commentary days. And about midway through, it looks like it's written by a Snarker or a fucking Trisha Paytas fan who's mad about mad about Frenemies ending. Like the opinions contradict inside of his own video. It's like the video is constantly at odds with itself because it doesn't know if they want Ethan to be more edgy or if they want Ethan to be like more politically correct. Isn't King of Nothing supposed to fight Smaggle at VidCon next week? King of Nothing was like threatening to beat the shit out of people too. He was like deleting comments and shit while people were reacting to the videos live and having meltdowns. That was, dude, King of Nothing spiraled and went fucking crazy. Yeah, he was absolutely nuts.
And I don't blame anyone for not respecting these people anymore, by the way.
Uh-oh. Wait, why? Why have they lost your respect, dude?
Because in my opinion, if your wife or husband or significant other does OnlyFans as a way to produce income for themselves...
What? What does it mean, King of Nothing?
They lack respect for themselves, and they have no moral compass.
Okay, here we go. Here we fucking go, dude. There'd always be a part like this in every video. Wait.
Themselves, they lack respect for themselves, and they have no moral compass. Because OF is funded strictly by literal basement-dwelling incels who are most likely very addicted to the consumption of adult content. And it's indefensible to knowingly take...
It's indefensible to knowingly do...
Very addicted to the consumption of adult content. And it's indefensible to knowingly take advantage of people who we all already know are at the lowest of the lows in society.
Dude, they're in a very dark place and your breasts are making it harder. Stop pulling them out. Stop!
Advantage of people who we all already know are at the lowest of the lows in society, all just to make some quick, easy cash.
Won't somebody just think of the gooners?
The statistics show that the largest consumers of adult content is actually little boys aged...
They're pedophiles too. Oh my god, no!
12 through 17, which is disgusting, especially when you take into account that OF intentionally does nothing to verify the ages of their customers so they can make more money. And that's not even mentioning the dozens of peer-reviewed...
Which, by the way, I don't think that... I don't remember. We did research on this. I don't think that's true. I think they do that. At least they've done that after this video was released, I think. I don't know.
Studies proving the inarguable net negative impact that excessive consumption of adult content has on not just children, but adults as well. And
where's the lie, though? I'm sorry. Every single person who acts like OnlyFans people are putting content out specifically to target, like, children just because they're making OnlyFans content, not because they're doing any of the weird fetish bait stuff that we were looking at before. I think that you're projecting. It's fucking weird. That's a weird thing to say, dude. I don't know. Like, you can't sell porn online because people might look at it, therefore they're trying to sell to that to get demographic is kind of crazy. Also, simultaneously, I don't understand why. Dude, what's the point of, like, making fun of... What's a good scapegoat demographic here? Like, why do I have to feel bad for incels? Why don't you go just talk to somebody? Oh no, the most loud, obnoxious portion of the audience, the worst people online are feeling really sad, and they feel compelled to look at her breasts. And some of them will have to spend money if they don't just Google a way around it. Oh no. Horrible. Horrible!
The dozens of peer-reviewed studies proving the inarguable net negative impact that excessive consumption of adult content...
Like, I don't care if your issue is with porn or whatever. I think there are some fucking reasonable arguments that you can make. I'm not pro-porn or whatever. I'm not like pro-porn's existence to a fault, right? But, like, you're doing so much here to attack them that is just so ridiculous. Like any normal person hearing this out loud would be like rolling their eyes.
And has on not just children, but adults as well. And as you would expect, those who buy...
Like we're bending over backwards here to attack them.
Has on not just children, but adults as well. And as you would expect, those who buy OF are not the people who use it in moderation. So by making a video with the sole intention of defending sex work, Ian is proving to us all that he's anti-consumer, anti-science, pro-addiction for children.
Okay, so again, no matter what your position on porn is, pro-addiction for children is fucking crazy. Because he supports his wife's decision to make fucking pornography online. That is a crazy argument.
Proving to us all that he's anti-consumer, anti-science, pro-addiction for children, and pro-basement-dwelling incels.
Ouch, talk about toxic.
Speaking of toxic, a lot of people online have claimed that Anissa...
Now, this could be a funny one right here, right?
Ouch. Science, pro-addiction for children, and pro-basement-dwelling incels.
This could be a funny argument if you make it the right way. It's like he hated incels so much, his wife then became the content for them. You know what I mean? He pandered to incels for years, disavowed them, so they all started watching his wife. I mean, and then she specifically made content for that type of person, you know? Because, you know, the loudest incel is the first one to line up to buy the pornography. Like, that would be cool. But why bring kids into it? Because King of Nothing always had these weird, ridiculous segments in every single video that I saw. The ones about True Geordie, like there's a whole True Geordie thing here that I'm not even going to try to look for that was extremely funny as well.